It's time. We're live. Welcome.
Word.
No one is here yet, but this is episode 91 of Snakes and Stogies. I am Justin Smith of palmettocoastexotics.
I am Phil Wolf of the Nefers Initiative. Yes, I am sick.
The COVID Initiative.
The COVID Initiative.
Yes, spreading joy one cough at a time.
But do you think that's stopping him from chiefing down some cigarettes?
Not the least bit.
Hell no.
That's Florida. How you cure it. That's how you cure it.
That's right. It kills the virus.
You got to burn it out with smoke. But
smoke it out.
we're joined by not only our very good friends, but happens to be our sponsors as well.
Oh, look at that Snakes and Stogies shirt.
Ooh.
The Gendra. Hello, Gendra. Right.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back.
And
you guys
Randy,
are almost at 100.
Yeah, Randy just popped in.
Randy.
How you doing?
Randy Begwith.
Look at that hoodie, man.
Yeah, just came in today. Perfect timing, right?
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I'm so glad that Randy got to join us today because I can't wait to praise him for his awesome snake room all day.
Oh yeah, my
Dude,
little snake closet.
That snake closet. It's not a closet, man. It's like a what's the TARDIS from Doctor Who?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh look, a pretty glass door, and then you walk in, you're like, holy shit.
Everyone says that when they walk in, they're like, what the hell do you have in here?
Right.
It's my little lab.
I love it.
Small but mighty.
Yeah. It is. You guys will have to come check it out sometime.
Yes.
Well, Tony Doyer's supposed to be here soonish, I believe. I think he's running.
Oh, nice. Behind, Tony's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get him out of his shell.
I saw pictures from Carpet Fest. I think yesterday or this morning, and I texted Phil. It was yesterday. I was like, dude, we need to get Gendra and do a Northwest Carpet Fest recap because we obviously weren't there, but it seems like it went really well. So we figured we'd do a good recap, sort of tell everybody exactly what we filled our time with. Looks like a lot of Jaeger was had.
Way too much Jaeger was had.
I'm sure Wheeler was fully responsible for.
Oh yeah, fucking Jaeger bombs.
Morelia bombs is what he called them. I knew it was gonna go downhill as soon as he asked me, "Hey, I need Jaeger, C4, and Monster." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah.
What's
we had to cut
C4?
a few people off.
It's
whatever. Doesn't matter. He said he's like just C4 in general. I'm like, okay,
it's like a pre-workout.
Oh yeah, it's a pre-workout.
Oh okay. It's not plastic explosive.
No,
it tasted like it, but no.
How late were you guys up?
I think everybody finally left at about 2 a.m.
Yeah, we probably went to bed till about 2:30. It's just last minute cleanup and then finally crashing.
Yeah, and of course we didn't get a picture with everybody. So
I know.
next year that's definitely gonna happen.
It's almost like
first.
It's like a wedding, man. Like if you're the ones orchestrating it and sort of the people sort of at the center of it, it goes by so fast and you spend so much time making your rounds and stuff that you don't get dinner. You don't do anything. You just schmooze and then dance and eat cake and then go back to schmoozing. So,
well, the big thing that saved us this time, I think, was doing the catering. So we catered Cordoba, and
just like a Chipotle for those who are out of state,
but better. But
better.
And that was a lifesaver because we didn't have to feel rushed cooking and trying to prepare food. It was just setting it up.
Yeah.
So, and I think most of it got eaten too. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah. So we still have.
You guys have Moe's out there?
Moe's?
I don't think we do have that.
No.
Oh my gosh, no! Okay, but I remember that place when I lived in Buffalo. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's who catered our wedding. Ironically, we had a margarita machine and Phil was there.
Awesome.
It worked out really well. It was so nice. Yeah,
it was delicious.
They just show up, they drop all the stuff off, and then they leave.
Yeah.
And it's like it was
perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what we did with the Southeast Carpet Fest. The last one we had a barbecue joint cater, and it was the same thing. They just dropped it off and left, and that was it. So keep it simple, keep it easy to set up, easy to break down.
Yep. And it provided a lot of variety for people who might have been like vegetarian or vegan or whatever. So it's like it was kind of well rounded for everybody, So it worked out well.
It was fun. I had a blast. So
yeah.
Good.
I think everyone that showed up did. I mean, we were all. By the time I looked down at my watch, it was already like 10 at night, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Where did the time go?
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
It's the way it should be.
Yep.
How far are you from them, Randy? I know we've asked before.
I'm about an hour and a half north of them.
Okay.
Yeah, on Whidbey Island.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, and I think carpet fests are much more enjoyable when it's everything's just like you don't want to put as far as like catering and stuff goes and all the setup and like the simpler the better. Like it's more enjoyable, especially for the people putting it on. If it's the least minimal headaches, keep them to a minimum. And it's the way it's supposed to be. Like carpet fest's supposed to be like a bunch of. It's just supposed to be a damn house party, man.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. And we didn't do a U.S. ARCs auction because I had no idea what I was doing in regards to that. But I think that made it a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
It was just everybody, we had multiple rooms and people were outside in the garage. And it was just people moving from room to room, just chit-chatting. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Was it stressful at all? I know Kendra's like, let's go downstairs.
Yeah, I think I was like mostly worried about just people having a good time. Because we had like, I think only originally we only had like 20 people who said they were going to go to the event. We're like, cool. So like 10 people might show up. And then like the night progressed and like more and more people came. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. Good thing we over ordered food. Good thing we had like a lot of seating areas, inside and out. It was pouring down rain. So we had a lot of people in the garage. We had tents up or like canopies up so people could be outside where we opened this space where we're at right now and like had kind of our deck above us like waterproof just in case, and it worked out really well in the end. But I was like leading up to that point I was like, oh my god, something's gonna go wrong.
Hey, Bert,
nothing happened. So
the Podfathers
the Podfather, nice.
Well, what are we all smoking first of all? I gotta get into that.
I think you called this the Undercrown.
That's the new 10th anniversary Undercrown.
It is awesome.
It is very good. I smoked so many of them and they came out that now I kind of don't want to touch them again.
Wow.
I went hard on those things when we got them at the event and stuff, man. Now I'm just like, it is a good cigar. It's one of those things I smoked too many of them. I need to sit on them for a little while before I come back to them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Randy, what do you got?
I got this Gurkha.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's a 2006 Havana blend.
Mm-hmm. Those are good.
It's so smooth, man. It's nice.
It's definitely one of Gurkha's better smokes for sure. We got in some new. It's Crown Heads, but it's made by Luciano. It's called the Fiat Lux, and it's actually really, really damn good. It's a new blend that we got at the expo back in July or June. And it's actually really, really tasty. I really like it a lot. At first, when I saw it, I was like, it looks like a 70s dentist's office with the color scheme and sort of the font and stuff. Like, it just makes me think of wood panel, doctor's office kind of deal. And it's not going to come through, but.
Oh, yeah. You got to put those samplers together again, man. I look forward to those. Because I don't know what the hell to order sometimes, when I'm there. I'm just like, hey, but at least it looks familiar if I've seen it or you've showed it in the samplers,
Yeah, well, now we've got a pretty decent chunk of newer stuff in now, so we can definitely make that happen again. I know like that and the raffle thing kind of dissolved a little bit over time, but
yeah, people get busy, but you're a pretty busy guy.
So
just a little bit.
But this Fiat Lux, we got it in 2 sizes, and I really like it a lot. I really wasn't expecting it to be really anything life changing. I like what Crown Heads does. I think they do good cigars, and this one's definitely different in a good way. So
yeah, it's definitely time to spark that stuff back up.
I agree. The samplers were my goal, man, because I don't know what to order. I'm still learning, so I'm like, Justin, just tell me what I need to have.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Phil, what are you smoking on?
Nothing, because I can't taste or smell it.
Oh, you got the COVIDs?
I want to have a cigar. And no one...
Poor guy.
I can't have one.
I tried to smoke some when I had
Rona.
Rona.
2 for him.
Yeah, right.
I got another one on deck. I tried to smoke when I had COVID, man, and I was trying to smoke Charter Oak Connecticut's, which is a fantastic Connecticut for like $7. It's really, really good. It got rated really high too. And the flavor that I got from that when I had COVID was so bad. And it wasn't the cigar. It was 100% my taste buds. I don't know what it was, dude. It made cigars taste horrible. Didn't matter if it was a Charter Oak or something else.
Just pick up all the worst nodes.
Yeah, see, that's what
I tasted it before in a cigar. Like I've never experienced something like that. It was so strange. I was like, these are.
And I remember Justin vividly telling me that, and me not even. I was like, I'm not even gonna try and smoke something, but I didn't lose any of the senses until almost 3 days in. So like I was like, oh, this is fine, spicy food, some burrito, blah blah
Nothing.
blah. And now it's like I'm literally just drinking hot water, but it's not. It's actually coffee. It's depressing.
It's strange.
Oh,
It took me about a month for everything to come back to normal. I don't know if it's going to be the same for you, Phil, but
well, fingers crossed, children.
it was really frustrating because Katie was like, "I'm going to make steak tonight for dinner," and I was like, "Don't bother." It's like, don't like I can't.
Yeah.
I might as well be chewing on a piece of rubber or something. It's not gonna. Don't waste it on me. I'll just eat cereal or something.
Well, the worst part about it is I ordered before the everything okay over there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm good.
Kendra's wrestling bears in the backyard.
Legit is.
That's not us.
Oh.
that was me.
No,
No,
I was making jello shots.
There's a Navy base on the island that I live on. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, usually this time of night they're usually calming down, but we'll see.
Fair enough.
She was taking Jello shots. That's what she was doing over there.
Oh, okay. I thought she was wrestling with
Under the
Got a bunch of
table.
leftovers she's got to get rid of.
That's why I'm trying to get rid of this apple juice too.
Oh, dude, that stuff was good. I could
Oh
only
my
take a sip.
God. Chris
My
and
ears
Emily,
started
man,
getting warm after that one sip. I was like, oh my god, get it away.
I know
Yeah.
it's dangerous. It tastes
Yeah,
so good. It was like that first shot of Everclear. It was so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
tastes
But
tastes
after
so
that,
fucking good.
no.
Yeah, so Chris and Emily from Evergreen Exotics, they brought I think like 5 jars of moonshine that they made home. And it is amazing. It's like 25 proof,
Yeah.
I think they said.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I love Chris and Emily. I was kicking it with them a lot last night.
Oh,
That
they're-
night too. It was fun. Yeah, they're good
They are
people.
awesome. They stay low key. They're awesome. I love them.
That's how I am too, though. You know that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They're
do
good
my own thing.
people. They're good people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
trying to have
that-
a get together over there at their place because they got a lot of property, and plus they have this big black throat monitor that is just awesome. I can't remember his
I
name.
know.
Junior, but yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's adorable.
I want to get Alan
Yeah.
Stevens to do some monitor articles for the magazine really bad, like
That'd be
Tristis and some other stuff that he's got that I really like. That I really haven't seen a ton of information on, honestly. Like
I eat
peacock
all that
monitors
stuff
and
up
stuff
though.
like that. Yeah, like I'm really hoping I get some Ackies from him soon-ish. We're still
Mhm.
working that out, but I don't know, like the roughnecks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's such cool lizards.
Yeah.
It's funny. My buddy in Queensland, he just got his first Tristis, and he set it up in this big, gigantic exoterra. It's like the biggest exoterra you can buy, and he did it all naturalistic and live plants and rocks and all stuff. And he just randomly will send me Snapchat videos of the thing tweaking out because he'll just walk by the cage and be like, "What's up, little lizard?" And the thing's like, "Bah!" Hauls ass across the cage.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't think I
Stranger
would.
danger.
Legit, I don't know if I would ever want to keep that because I think the minute you go to take it out, like it's gone forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like this big, and it I can't describe it.
They're
It's like
fast.
it's on
man.
meth, bro.
Monitors are
Yeah.
Those little like tree and mangrove monitors. They're so freaking
Yeah.
wicked fast. They'll like shit on you and take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had a good handful. I've had a good handful of monitor species over the years, whether it be where I was working or stuff I kept at home. I mean, I kept tomb rolls, I kept black throats and stuff. But dude, those little Aussie monitors, man, like it's like Velcro on the wall. It's just the Snapchats he sends me are hilarious. So I'll have to save some.
What was that one
Yeah.
that who shared that earlier in the group chat? What species was that? I forget.
Which one?
It was the one that Dom that Australian girl who posted the.
Oh shit.
I'd never even heard of this species before. It was like a twilight monitor or something like that.
I don't know. Let me look. Hold on. I'll find it. On the OG chat or the new one?
OG.
Hold on.
Let me see. I got it right here. Yeah, Twilight Monitor, Varanus globopalma.
I don't know. Hold on. We'll find it.
Didn't Billy just have a kid?
Miss_Varanus is the Instagram.
Yeah, I think I sent that, to be honest. Or maybe it was Dominique.
I don't know. I've never seen these before or heard of them, so I was...
Black Palmed Rock Monitor.
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel like that's been a pretty regular thing lately. Like I keep hearing about monitors that I was completely unaware of their existence for whatever reason. They've been popping up more in the feeds.
I love listening to their podcast too. Alan Stevens and
Kai.
Was it Kai fan? Yeah.
Yeah, I learned so much from them. I feel like everybody's starting.
I even bought some of those grasshoppers, but those things suck.
Damn, that bad, right?
The grasshoppers. Have you tried taking care of those before?
No, not at all.
Oh, they're horrible, man. You have to feed them like a head of lettuce every day.
Wow,
like a whole head.
Pretty much. I mean, right now, for what I have, they'll go through a head of lettuce in 2 days.
Damn.
That gets expensive.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Lettuce isn't that expensive, but when you're buying it every other day, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm probably just going to end up buying bugs still.
Man, Papa Burke got Kimbo's, and I forgot that he had that, and now I'm super jealous.
He did.
He's making me catch the monitor bug. Like, well, we already wanted Aki's, but now we're looking at all this other stuff because of him. It's a ripple effect once he starts talking about stuff.
Yeah, that'll happen. That will happen.
The curse of podcasting and hosting them.
By the way, congratulations, Billy Jenkins. He's another perfect clutch.
What did he get this time?
A human.
Yeah, another baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Homo sapien.
I think it was it was last week.
It was.
He was in the chat like when they were in the hospital, and I guess they were still waiting. So he was joining us.
He's gonna get all the questions. Well, what are you gonna do with the snakes now? I used to hate that when I had kids. I was like, what are you talking about?
They're gonna stay right here.
Exactly.
So
people are weird about snakes.
Meanwhile, Steve Poole's over here in the group chat playing with his Apodora. Was there any Apodora mishaps at Northwest Carpet Fest?
Yes. So, funny story about that, right? So
all right, I knew it was going to happen. I figured I'd bring it up eventually.
So Nick and Mark, they're there. They're I'm like, hey, can you want to help me sex our Apodora? Why? Because they're not the nicest, lately. So me and Nick are over there. I'm holding the business, using the hook to hold the business and away from him while he is probing her, and she starts acting a little feisty and, just being difficult. And Mark just comes over here and taps her on the head and grabs her by the, right there and just takes care of business. No fear whatsoever. And that was just hilarious to me because the confidence is just awesome with him. Like, it's a big snake. And I don't know. I'm not going to go tap it.
Boyer keeps his pimp hand strong.
He does, 100%. But what ended up happening with that is instead of 2 girls, we have a 1.1, which normally I'd be mad about. But with Apodora, males are hard to find. So I am super stoked. She's super stoked. Yeah. Now that we have, a pair and then our other females coming in next week. So super excited.
Did the male just like swallow the probe, or was it difficult, or what?
No, it went pretty deep. It was just obvious that, it was a male. And it was it was good news. At first I was like, oh shit. But then I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
What's up, Tony?
What's going on, guys?
The Doya.
What's up, dude?
Sorry for running late.
No problem.
It's all good.
I see a little person occasionally in here. I got my little.
Oh,
dog.
Same here, or a dog on my side too. It's all good. How you doing, dude?
Doing well. Recovering. Still not
good.
Yeah, it's just like Daytona, man. It always it's never just okay, cool. I'm back home, and now I'm back in the States. It takes a couple days to really sort of come back to 100%.
Oh yeah, we went straight back to work. So just literally got home from work. So
I remember after Southeast Carpet Fest and stuff on the way home, me and Jake are just sitting in the car, didn't say a word the entire ride home. We're just so fried.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet trip, but it was nice and not too bad. Not too much to recover too badly.
I never miss my bed more than after Daytona and Carpet Fest.
I can absolutely believe that. So
Like
what's
that.
going on, guys? Thank you again for hosting. First off.
Oh yeah, too
Absolutely
easy.
Awesome. Both of you.
I'm just glad we made it happen. You know.
Yeah, who was the first to show up?
Tony and Brandon and Tyler, all out of town people.
Okay.
It was awesome. Yeah, and of
we
course
kinda
we put them right
forced
back to
them
work.
into doing the hosting thing Friday night. That doesn't need those. Thank you.
Yeah, but we put them right to work setting up. So we used and abused them. It was awesome.
Hey, that was not abuse. You got a killer collection, some killer stuff to see there. So it was a treat. That's for sure. Kind of forced him into Brandon and I kind of forced him into the entertainment on Friday night.
Yeah, definitely.
It worked out well.
Yeah, we got to finally trim our, Gila Monster's nails, which was definitely needed. We were a little intimidated by just, trying it out because we just got her and her nails are super long because I don't think they had a rock in there for her to kind of grind them on. And so that was a little nerve wracking, but it was just like a dog. Kendra did it.
Yeah.
And Tony held her while she did it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely learning process.
Yeah. They're intimidating. Like you don't think that they would be, but like they kind of are because they whip around so quickly on you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit, like this ain't no friggin' leopard gecko. Like this is something that can do some damage if it really wanted to. So
They're pretty much just big leopard geckos.
Yeah.
Giant ones.
Spicy ones.
You got that big bowl
a little bit more
face, those big old jowls, and you're just like, whoa, you got a lot of teeth.
Yeah, we fed her a mouse last night, and just watching her chew on that was just ridiculous. I was like, I do not want that to be my finger.
I've never heard someone say, yeah, I got bit by a Gila. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're careful around her.
Mm-hmm. Better be safe.
She's gorgeous, by the way.
Mhm.
Good looking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed because all that talk we did in Daytona, I never got a picture or nothing.
Of
the Gila Monster.
Oh yeah. We'll
I've seen pictures of it.
Now.
Actually, you have the video, don't you?
Well, they didn't.
Yeah,
really,
we'll send that.
She didn't really try to pull her out with a bunch of people. I get to kind of help with that on Friday night. So
that was like one of our number one questions. Can we pull her out? Like, no.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture, Phil, of her and Tony handling her.
Awesome.
We definitely used a hook just to be on the safe side, just to kind of keep control of her a little bit.
Yeah.
But she was doing pretty good. A lot better than normal. I'll give her that.
So was it sort of the usual Carpet Fest thing like we have down here where it's like if you're the host, like Cody, you don't see Cody like the entire night because he's inside giving the tour like sort of repeatedly?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Did you guys just spend most of the night in your snake room?
Yeah, we were both like in there, like we both had like individual groups we were doing the tours with.
So a cool part about like kind of what we did is we put a lock on the snake room door. So we have a main snake room where we keep most of our rack systems. And then in our downstairs living room, we have our larger enclosures with our bigger snakes. Now, all the larger enclosures have locks on them, so nobody can just go open them. But it's all, everybody can see them and stuff like that. They can pass through to get to the backyard and the downstairs living room area where it's a big couch. So periodically we'd go into the main snake room and just give tours for like 5 or 6 people at a time. And then, they were feel free to see the bigger enclosures at any time. It was pretty nice because I didn't have to constantly watch stuff to make sure no one was just going in and grabbing something,
Yeah.
We can get out of the room and, mingle and then give the tour periodically. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I felt the way you guys had it set up. The way you guys had it set up, it actually kind of gave you the ability to breathe because that was one thing.
Right. You can do like little spurts here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
People noticed,
Take
okay, the
creeps
door's
back.
open. Hey, stick your head in and see how many people are in there. Oh, it's too crowded. Let's go wait. And
Yeah.
Kind of took advantage of that opportunity. So each of you guys kind of got to cycle in and out.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that is with at least the Southeast Carpet Fest, like both years that we did them previously, like it was never people there that we like got weird sort of vibes about it or anything like that. Like everyone was pretty straightforward and pretty trustworthy. It seems like we didn't have to worry, especially at P and Cody's. If you think about it, with all the venomous stuff they have,
I could
all
imagine that.
All their stuff's locked up, but everyone for the most part is pretty trustworthy. I don't think anybody's going to try to do anything stupid. So.
Yeah, well, and with the door, like it forced people to ask and like, you know, be like, hey, I'm interested in this. Can we, you know, let's talk about it. And it opened up in that discussion, you know, the people over here. Oh yeah, I want to check that out too, or whatever. So it helped like other people, I think, like build on that community sense and like talk and discuss like afterwards, you know. And I think that was like one of the biggest things about it was it like, because our community is fairly small compared to, you know, Southeast or Southwest, you know, but it was nice to be able to see people like, oh, hey, I met you online, or hey, you know this person through this whatever,
exactly,
like in person. So it was a really cool thing to do, and I'm glad we did host it.
Oh yeah,
like
my favorite part is that it wasn't just all carpet python people. There was there was experienced keepers there, and then there was also like a lot of people that were just new to the hobby, that have never seen a carpet python in person before, never seen a white lip in person before, or an apodora or something like that, or a scrub.
Duns python.
Or duns, you know. But a lot of those people, you know, they got to see this for the first time and actually start falling in love with these other stuffs, not just ball python morphs that, you know, you typically see. So there was a local friend of ours. He, you know, got to see a scrub in person for the first time and handled it and things like that. Now he wants one. And so seeing that passion start to grow in somebody for all the other species that, you know, don't have morphs per se, was really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why you guys do it, you know.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw Miguel was there. I'm sure Miguel saw a bunch of stuff that he's all about.
Oh, yeah. Miguel had quite experience with the Morelia bombs.
Yeah, he even asked Brandon to keep him going. I was like, okay.
I think he's like 6 or 7 deep on those.
I know. He's a good guy, though.
Good guy. Fantastic, dude.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But it is cool to mingle and talk to people. Like Tony, him and I were chatting at first, and I was like, oh shit, you're the elephant trunk guy, Revision Reptiles. And we just kind of like put 2 and 2 together, and okay, you're Randall Pegues. And yeah, you know, so we were doing a lot of that all night and just chatting with people, and you find like, oh shit, we actually know each other, you know?
Yeah. No, that
So
was like me
pretty
the
cool.
entire night. Jeff was like, that's so and so, that's so and so. That I'm like, oh,
Same.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I went outside to
another actual name, you know, like one of those situations.
Yeah, I went outside to introduce myself. They're like, "Oh, you're Randall so and so," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually pronounced this way." But yeah.
Did you get pegs a lot?
Pegas or Peguis. What I always tell people is there's always 3 brothers, and they called us the 3 little piggies. So it's pronounced Peggies.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pegas or whatever, doesn't matter.
It was kind of funny though, because Tony, you know, we were all chit chatting and everything like that, and then I think it was Saturday, you know, right before we were ready to go, he talked about his elephant trunk snakes, and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're Revision!" You know,
exactly. Yep.
I'm like, "Fuck!" Now named to a face. I knew that profile.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, he's the elephant trunk guy.
Then I called him an asshole for not accepting my friend request.
Yeah, that was Friday night as we're all sitting around towards the end of the evening wrapping it up, and he's like, and we're talking, and then something got mentioned about what we keep, and the elephants came up, and that was hey, well, you're an asshole because you haven't taken my friend request. No wonder. It's kind of like you put the faces with the names, so that was kind of one of the treats of this Carpet Fest specifically.
The guy with the sock puppet snakes.
Yeah, they're so cool. I don't know if I could keep it, but they are awesome just to look at. Like his setup is just awesome, and hearing how he does it, maintains it, really cool.
Yeah,
it's actually
kind of the same kind of thing that happened throughout the night with Randy and a few other people. As I was chatting with people, and we were chatting, and it kind of ran into the I know you through this, or yeah, you know through this. So that was kind of cool, and getting those going, crazy.
It was fun.
Yeah, you see you put a lot of names to faces and stuff at Carpet Fest. It seems like no matter where, like which one you go to.
Yeah, and you see someone like Tony, like John Barrett just said, you know, his passion for that species. Like it's not something, you know, he's breeding and making a ton of money on, or, you know, whatever. He's just passionate about how that species is, how they look, how they act. just everything about him, and just hearing how that passion was just awesome. Personally,
they're not for everybody.
No.
No. We say the same thing about our white lips. Like, they're not a species for everybody. And some people actually got to see that last night or Saturday night. You know, like, they're not like, you know, they're this. They look beautiful in a picture, but in real life, like, they're not going to sit still. They're not going to look, you know, that cuddly.
There's the fantasy and then there's the reality.
Yeah.
Some are spicy, some not so much.
Yeah.
That's where you want the duns. Those will work.
Yeah.
Yeah, duns are perfect. Yeah, those are always
that was a treat to be able to fall in love with at that time there.
Yeah.
To be able to handle those and see those. It was kind of nice because recently getting hooked on the Liasis, being able to see the variety they had there was really cool to see such kind of be able to experiment or kind of handle a little bit of each one, or at least see them and how they handle. So that was kind of pretty cool to see there.
I told you the Liasis is the superior genus, and I was not fucking around.
This you did say. This is true.
Yeah.
You're not wearing your shirt.
I know I should have wore it, but you know it was dirty. So because I wear it all the time because it's facts.
It's good. That's good.
I know he wears mine too.
Oh,
Like,
sorry,
all
not
the
sorry.
time. I'm like, that's my shirt. He's like, no, it's our shirt.
Definitely my favorite.
Oh, there's Dom. She's in the chat. Hey, Dom.
Dominique.
Dom and Kendra might be on a fight club here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
heard talk of that.
I'm gonna lose, and I'm okay with it. It's Dom. I love her, and she's beautiful.
So you're gonna hear me in the background. Fuck her up. It'll be good.
Put her in a body bag, Tommy.
Grab her dick and twist it. Sorry, there's children here. I'm sorry. My bad.
You're good. You're good.
That got heated really quickly.
Yeah,
She's
it'll be
in
fun.
pain. I apologize if she's making noise in the background.
Oh, you're fine.
What? Why are you apologizing for a kid being a kid?
Yeah. We're not.
Tommy, stop saying you're sorry.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, Carpet Fest couldn't have been, you know, as good as it was without Tony, Brandon, and Tyler helping us set up.
For
That
real.
came in clutch really good, and they helped clean up afterwards too. It was really fantastic the way it worked out. So I'm really glad they came. I think they were the only three that came out of. Well, there's a couple people that came from Oregon, they came from California, and Tyler came from Wyoming. So it was definitely.
Ryan, who came from?
Who? Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. So it was a good time though.
How far of a drive was it, Tony? Or did you guys fly?
We flew in. We flew. Brandon and I picked up tickets and flew out. It worked out because we actually got off the plane and landed. We arranged to meet up with Tyler and hang and kind of let him stay with us. And it worked out to where we landed, and he kind of landed right after us, and he was like 2 gates down. So we worked out perfectly that way, and we kind of flew out around the same time. Tyler had a little bit later of a flight, but it worked out either way because basically come and go at the same time. And made that real smooth. It was kind of nice there because, again, that was the first time we'd actually met Tyler. He had Brandon and I with him. So we talked with him and kind of chatted with him. So that was kind of cool to just go that route too.
And Tyler's a super cool kid. Like, he is awesome. He's super passionate. Really good guy.
When he's eager to learn, and you don't get a lot of that anymore these days. Or at least it doesn't seem like it on Facebook groups where everyone's just like a know-it-all, or like what the term we coined, the regurgitating Richards. You know, the people who just like who take information and just, you know, they think it's, you know, untouchable, and they just spew that information to somebody else, and just like a constant cycle of bullshit and misinformation. And Tyler was like, you know, he was actually willing to learn. He's like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, you know, and that was cool to see because he's, you know, he's the next generation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I kind of forced his hand too because he's interested in like white lip Sapador. I was like, hey, you're gonna pull this snake out and handle it while I clean the cage. And so I handled him, you know, a very defensive female white lip, northern white lip, and he handled it like a champ. He handled.
We cannot return
well.
it until it has spilled blood.
Exactly. She struck at Brandon as he passed by, but no, she didn't even bite him. The Apodora were really well behaved for him, but I don't know if that was good for him or bad for him because now he wants some of those species.
I know. It's like she's on her best behavior. Damn it! Like,
yeah, she's not normally like this.
No, she's not normally nice.
It's like just because there's strangers here. God.
Yeah, Tyler was a pretty unique one to hang out with because he's really coming in from the ball python side. And any of the communities other than the ball python side, you typically hear just the negative side of the ball python keeper. And he really did come in. He started with a few, and he's kind of expanded, and he just really wants to expand to just get his interest. So that was kind of cool to see. And like she said, he's willing to learn. So he was more than willing to sit and listen to people, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. That was his whole point of coming.
Yeah.
So his whole point, that was what he said. That's what his point was, is he wanted to go out and learn and enjoy. I mean, there was a point where he was at Carpet Fest. He was just following everybody and anybody, wanted to just figure out what everybody knew about anything he was interested in.
And he was not shy to ask a question. Like he was super humble, and it was just awesome.
He walked right up to Nick and just asked him, "Hey, I'm interested in the hypo stuff, and I hear you're the guy to explain it." And Nick just looked at him and said, "I don't have time for that shit."
And then continue to explain it.
No, and then he found somebody else that was willing to explain it, and Nick was standing there and overheard it, and of course Nick, well, let me just step in.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course he would.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny because it wasn't long after. It was like, well, you want to explain it? Hey, you will. And then, well, let me just explain this. It's like, oh, so there's time now.
Forgive me for changing topic real quick. Did your child just hook out a snake?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, well, she pulled out one of the younger juvenile carpets. Yeah,
that's fantastic. I love it.
That's what she's over here trying to get. The last reptile show, we got her her pink snake. She's learning how to use. We're working on getting her used to hooks and stuff. I kind of introduced her to carpets and juvenile carpets slowly, so now she's working the confidence in.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah,
and she has a pink hook.
And I don't point like she likes them. She's fascinated by them, but we're working on the stay back. Just respect them. So I'm slowly introducing her level by level to the different stuff we work with.
Oh, she's awesome.
Super cool.
Tom does need a pink hook.
Okay.
I think Phil needs a pink hook too.
I think so too.
I actually have a pink hook that is going to be auctioned off at some point.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
speaking of Tyler, he's in the chat.
Hey, I missed all that stuff we were talking
we were
about.
just talking about you.
Tyler, we just said horrible things about you.
Yeah, just shit talking.
Worst ginger ever.
Tyler.
Update your Facebook photo.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, Clayton. That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's a great experience. I have 2 kids. My daughter's the first one, and then we've got a 9-month-old son right now. So love them.
I know how that is.
It's something to juggle though. She's getting to the point where she's getting real confident with the carpets, and now cleaning and stuff is getting to be a little more work. Before we didn't have to worry about we're going to open a cage or something or try to handle something. Now she's building that confidence level. So it's more, got to keep an eye on what you're pulling out.
Has she pulled out the max yet?
No. No.
Yellow anaconda next.
Speaking of white lips.
I can honestly say that was the first thing I came home and checked on.
Yeah.
Came home, checked on that, made sure they were good and still angry, and then I went and took a shower.
They are feisty when they're babies. They chill out after a while, but
yeah, that female's not horrible when she's out, from what I've seen.
It's actually interesting because I've always had not happy times with Macklets in the past, and Billy Hunt's adults, they're confused. They think they're ball pythons. They're amazing. And then he got those babies, and those babies are from hell.
Oh my God, yes. I just got a girl from him, and yeah,
you did.
Not nice.
Just a savage little worm.
But they chill out though. Like our two, sub adults, they're pretty chill once you get them out. Kate, our tub defensive, 100%.
Yeah.
But once you get them out, they're super calm.
I still say the Savus are the worst.
Savus are definitely the worst though.
Oh my god, those little
Are
things
they?
are just
They're like
the
little
devil.
springs, man. They jump.
Hey, they
and
weren't
flip
bad
and
when I
fly.
had them out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Again, they're nice when strangers are around, but when I'm around, they're just like, "Oh, you're across the room. I'm gonna get you still."
Yeah. Simple cleaning.
Hold my beer.
Are they just biters or are they musk too?
Biters. I wouldn't say they
Biters,
must
yeah.
that much.
Yeah, but they'll launch themselves completely out of the tubs at you.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll open that thing and like you're just like cleaning a little bit, and then like you'll take a step back and like they'll come out at you. Like they have no fear.
Those Dunn's pythons, though, man. After you put those in my hands, I was like, oh, because at first I didn't really understand it, Like, I was like, they're cool, but after holding them, I was just like, wow, these are really chill and they're beautiful to look at. I mean, they're awesome snakes.
The anti-maclets.
100%. They are. Like if you even look at just how they look, it's it looks like a flipped, just the contrast, the color, whatever, and the demeanor too. And the freckles, yeah. I mean, they have like no like busy dark pattern to them besides a few black freckles. Like our females
One might say they're done fighting.
Done fighting. Oh, I like that.
Compared to the maclets.
Dad joke.
No, they're awesome though. They're super chill, which is completely awesome. Because as babies, they must a little bit, but now they don't even do that anymore. They just move around.
Are they keeping that orange color? Didn't you have one or two that were orange?
No, they're pretty.
Though the female, she's a little bit orange, but not really.
She has a hue to her, yeah. Like if you hold them side by side, like you can tell which one was orange and which one was the silver.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And those stay considerably smaller than maclets, right?
From what I've heard, they stay about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller.
But
not many people have them, so I don't know.
Those juvenile colors, that's just a random variegation. I can't talk tonight. Sorry. Random variableness of it.
So there hasn't been enough breeding to actually determine that, but Nick and Ryan are definitely working on that to determine if you breed a red baby to a red baby, you're going to get all red babies, or you're going to get reds and silvers and kind of in betweens, because they got a mix on both their clutches. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for it though, because I like the silver ones. In my personal opinion, she likes the red ones.
I
So.
like the reds.
How many wild babies have been observed, like in the modern era? Like, can you go on iNaturalist and see babies or no?
0 on iNaturalist.
No.
There's that one like Juan Tristan guy on he lives in Indonesia, and he's got 1 or 2 videos from when he goes out herping on that Weetar Island. And they're not babies, they're adults, and they kind of look like the silverish kind of phase, if I'm guessing, but there's not many pictures of them in the wild at all. The wild specimens that they were collected when they first got identified and stuff like that's available, but there's not much at all besides the captive stuff.
So it's not. There's no chance that the silver or the orange is essentially a phenotype or a morph. It's just some babies are one color, some babies are another. So far, I hope it's something that you can kind of selectively breed for, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not enough breeding has been done yet.
Yeah, we just don't have enough examples of it, I think.
Yeah.
In captivity.
Are they exclusive to Witter Island?
Yeah, they're 100% exclusive to Weetar Island or Wetar. I don't know how you say it, but that one guy said that he has found one on has found one on Timor though. So, but I don't know how true that is. It'd be cool if they were found somewhere else. Honestly.
Yeah, because it might be a little more available.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much distance there is between the islands and stuff. Because I mean, if it's not a big grap, then it's probably entirely possible. But
and that island's so frequently, not frequently, traveled to, because I think I was reading up on it because I really want to go there one day, and I think a ship goes there once every 2 weeks unless you can hire a private charter, which is expensive and hard to find someone trustworthy. So
he really got into all of that, and I
wow.
shot him
I was like the
down.
perfect honeymoon. Like, let's
And
go.
I was like, I'm not
Perfect.
A little bit of almost death.
Catch malaria on the way out.
Malaria,
Let's Hawaii good.
dude, it'd be cool. You get to see Insularis in the wild too.
Yeah, yellow Insularis is there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And I think I figure out what those little like rat things or squirrel things are, like kikajus or something. Kinkajus. I don't remember, but that's what they're eating. That one guy said.
Chupacabras.
Probably chupacabras. I don't know, but yeah, they're
What are we in
super
Mexico
cool.
now?
I watched that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say is I did the same thing you did many moons ago, because at the time, I would say maybe 10 years ago or so, 12 years ago, there would be waves of Wetter Island stuff that was coming in, like Insularis and Sabus and some other stuff too, and it was basically how desirable the Westerners wanted that locality. They would make the mission to go field collect, right? And excuse me. And I looked up like you said, like, yeah, do like a week trip, see what it's like. So there's a lot of charters that go, and there's a couple settlements out there, because I was looking at Flores Island too, you know.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple good towns on Flores, and there's like a micro resort on the island, on the west side of the island. But if there's like a little storm, or the guy who drives the ferry doesn't feel like going to work that day, it's like 7 days until you can get out.
Exactly. So now you gotta plan like a month trip just in case it's like a buffer zone.
Well, you also gotta pay the guy double, if not triple, to make sure he shows up.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And then because I know there's a big mining operation on Wetar, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. They have like villages, not really any like towns, from what I've heard. There's a lot of like birding people that will go there and take pictures of the island. That's when I was doing my research. I'd find a lot of, birding people that took pictures of the habitat and things like that. So, but not a lot of snake people. Obviously, there's not many there. So,
yeah, we had somebody on a show once that was saying how maybe it was Doc Julander, I don't remember, saying how they are herper at heart, but they travel under the guise of a birder because birding is so uniformly accepted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's going to be suspicious of a birder?
Well, yeah, and that was the whole thing, is like, you can get permits to go into natural areas in other countries to go birding, but if you said you were looking for snakes, they would deny your licenses because they assume you're just going to smuggle stuff out.
Isn't that what the case was with the national parks in Texas and stuff too? Like, you couldn't have a snake hook because most of the people that are in the state parks with snake hooks, it's like you're probably taking stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. But if you have a camera,
right,
no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of goofy. I mean, I understand why they, especially like national parks here in the States, like why they would have rules like that, but people can't be trusted.
Yeah, it sucks.
I really want to do an Indonesia trip, but it is so sketchy that I would not want to go unless it was someone like Dan Maliri or, like Mike Clarkson, or I don't know how to say his name, but people like that is when I would want to go. Not just me and Kendra. Why? Because I feel like
safety numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be murdered in a heartbeat. This mustache,
Lord of the Flies.
Cut it off.
This mustache.
No,
like, let's skin him for his hide. Like, no.
You got our lips, boy. Yeah, like I'm not trying to. Yeah.
Just get taken to like a cannibal's hut, and Jeff's mustache will just be pinned to the wall on one of the tiki huts. There's no question of who that came from.
I'm not,
well, like I told Hen Dog, like, him and I are gonna go. Come hell or high water, him and I are gonna go. But I also feel better that he speaks a little bit Indonesian, and I don't know. I feel like the two of us could kind of lay low under the radar, and we have enough people through Instagram and Facebook that we could, stay at somebody's apartment and whatnot, and kind of stay off the beaten path. But it is super sketch when you look like me.
If you go, I carry bags pretty well, so just saying.
Right?
I will. I also fit in bags pretty well.
Face, though, so like, he's the bag keeper.
No, 100%. That's my 100% my dream place to go visit, but also anywhere in Indonesia. I do want to go to Australia, but Indo I don't know.
Yeah,
it pulls on my heart a little bit more.
Borneo would be really cool.
Borneo would be cool too.
Australia's kind of a scary place to go to right now, so I'm kind of.
Yeah, if they allowed you in.
Yeah, if they allowed us in.
If they allowed you to leave.
Right, that would be the
getting in is
problem.
one thing.
Yeah.
Download this app so I can make sure I track you and make sure you're home.
All right.
But
So is there a plan as far as next year? You guys planning to do an auction and stuff and sort of do a little more than what you did this year?
Yeah, so the goal is to plan it a little bit earlier in the year so it's not pissing around rain. And then we can have, people in the yard, people outside.
Plan it for an earlier time. Like we have, we learned a lot from this. I think the biggest thing is we just weren't expecting that many people to show up because we've never seen that before. Like the last one we went to, I think it was enough people, including ourselves there.
Yeah.
So we were kind of expecting that. We planned ahead just in case, so it helped. But that's one of the biggest things is making sure that we have the space for everybody. Our house is kind of weird in the sense that it's not very open. It's a bigger house, but it's not open like most houses. So we have to really plan for that. So if we're gonna do something, I think again we're gonna have to plan for being outside a lot. So we're gonna have it early in the day, nicer temps out.
Well, what was the weather like for this one? I mean, was it is it warmer right there still, or is it starting to cool off a lot?
Our weather kind of took a shit. It went from summer to fall, literally in half a day. Yeah. So it was raining and max high of 60, low of 40.
Oh, I'm jealous.
That night was our first thunderstorm of the season.
Yeah, that night was our first thunderstorm. We had lamps out just in case we lose power. We had propane tanks set up. We're fuck, just in case, But yeah, I think we didn't think of getting name tags, so we had everyone write their name on painter's tape on their shirts.
I like it.
We forgot the group picture, so next year we're gonna get a banner and do all that. We're gonna
you gotta put the name tags. This is hello, my name is, right, and then make sure everyone gets them out, and then have 15 or 20 of them that just say Nick Mutton and just hand them out to everybody.
Well, he did have VIP parking too.
Oh my god!
Pull right in. Okay, yeah, that was for him.
His little was it Prius or something? It was kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, didn't expect that.
But yeah, I guess they had a hell of a time getting there. So they're a little fashionably late.
Yeah,
it's 6 hours in the car, they said, or something like that.
Yeah, that was insane because of the rain and stuff. But yeah, we have a solid list of things we want to change for next year. We have a solid list of things that worked out really well. If you ever host an event, number one rule: have poopery. Because it's a lifesaver. We had these little signs. I had these little signs in the bathroom. Do you have a picture of it?
I'll send it to Phil.
It was so funny. I got so many compliments on that. The other thing we did was we had a little basket for little goodies, just in case. I know people were coming from out of town, traveling really far. So we had little deodorants, toothpaste, toothbrushes, floss, lotions, whatever, just in case. Someone wants to freshen up. Yeah.
What's that say?
If your duties be cray, please use the spray.
There's a little shit spray right next to it.
Yeah. That's the little poopery stuff. So, we did it. We tried to.
We were eating queso, so.
I know.
That went gone real quick.
I know, Brandon.
Dude, he was he had queso in every way possible. Yeah.
He's just eating it with a spoon.
That's what I thought I saw.
We had a big tray of it,
He's just grabbing it with his fingers and putting it in his mouth.
Just need a queso fountain next time for him.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right. So no, it went. There are definitely some things we could have improved on. I think to make it really a really great experience. I thought we did a pretty good job though, with the amount of time that we had. Just got back from Daytona. We literally just finished our patio a week before people showed up. We had a ton of stuff to get done in such a short amount of time, and I think we kind of nailed it.
Next year though, a U.S. ARC auction for sure is what we want to kind of set up. But I want to pick some people's brains before we actually start considering it, because I know there's a lot that goes into it, especially if you include online stuff. With people, not paying for items or whatever. So, I don't know, it's going to be kind of weird, but I think instead of live animals, maybe just the vouchers we talked about. That way, no one's, bringing a live animal to, to our house type thing. Right. So,
not that we had that problem, but
me and Ben need to get that Carpet Fest website done so we can hold the auctions and stuff and not have to worry about Zuckerberg and
I agree.
all that.
Yeah.
It exists.
Auction
Like, it's
site,
made.
yeah.
We just have to make sure it works and test it and stuff. Because we planned on having that and making that so that all the Carpet Fest can have their auctions on there. And, you know, it's like you don't have to bid on Facebook comments. You can literally bid on the website and it keeps track of everything and just make it all much more painless and
streamlined.
Easy.
It may not be pretty, but it's going to be functional, and that works for me. You know,
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's there. We just got to finish it.
Yep.
Yeah, we need you guys to come out though next time.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
We got a couch for you to crash on.
Yep.
I've never been out there. I lived in Hawaii as a kid, but other than that, as far as like actual like West Coast stuff, I've never stopped anywhere over there. You know, it's been Hawaii and that's it. So
we're shooting for, if we do it again, we'll shoot for like maybe mid-August. So like the temperatures will be perfect, you know.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
It'd be really nice, sunny. We'll do it earlier in the day. I think that was kind of one of the biggest things is we should have probably done it a little earlier in the day, especially for people that were traveling really far. So they can get out and get home. You know, they can spend a few hours here and not have to like find a hotel or whatever.
Right.
The cool thing is though, there's a hotel, you know, a couple minutes down the street from us, and it's just restaurants, fast food joints, stores, right, all next to it too.
Like,
so
not even a 5-minute drive. So.
Right off the highway.
Right off,
Very
right off
convenient for flying in and staying. I mean, the airport was the distance drive. Other than that, literally, there's a gas station across the street, catty corner. There's a restaurant and a couple different places there. Yeah. Their house is just up the road, so that hotel you guys provided was perfect on that end.
Dispensaries.
We in the hotel in our house. There's a dispensary, and
you know, Northwestern guys. You know.
Yeah.
He asked me. He's like, "Are you guys legal?" Yeah, we're fully legal, bro.
Yeah.
Washington does not care.
The most disturbing call I got was Friday night. He stayed over there. Tyler and I stayed at the hotel, and we met back up the next morning. So Saturday morning, when Brandon got up, gave me a call. We're talking, hey, you up? Getting ready to head over. First thing he says when he picks up the phone, you know, their roof lines out here are pretty steep. That was the first thought that crossed my mind was Brandon, don't get in trouble out here. We're not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have, we don't have a jacuzzi on the patio. We're not doing that.
No.
Yeah, I had to ask him about that too.
Yeah.
Hey, so how close is the Herpin to your house?
All the way up to Randy, you know, to where he lives. You know, he told us that he finds a lot of Puget Sound garters up there, which are the really nice blue ones.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need to plan it.
Yes, we do. We need to plan a trip.
Come on up, man.
Just rent next Carpet Fest up there. Just rent one of those islands.
Rent the whole island.
You can only get there by boat.
We're gonna put that on.
There's a lot of areas that I know that we can rent like venues on the lake or on the water.
Oh.
I don't know if you'd want to do it like that, but we could do something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't want to plan a herping trip though around here. Find some rubber boas, find some the garters out here.
Yeah, Eastern Washington is only a few hours drive.
Because if we need Ryan, because we can't find shit apparently.
Yeah,
we're not the best at herping, so we're still learning.
I think
next
time I come out for Carpet Fest, I think we try and extend it, and maybe we'll try and set something like that up. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be
so
cool.
down.
Absolutely.
We'll go hit up Randy and do some herping up there on the island. Bring out some kayaks.
I want to see some killer whales and narwhals.
Those are.
I just saw some. I was fishing for salmon 2 weeks ago and just saw a pod just swim right by us.
These things are freaking terrifying, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're huge, man.
I don't understand why people think they're so cute and adorable. Like, it's a giant, intelligent murder machine. There's nothing adorable about them.
The waters here are pretty scary, man. We have like killer whales, and we have like 4 different types of sharks, and we have giant squid, and we have a lot of stuff up here.
Jesus. And the temperatures are really cold. It's
super cold.
Year.
Yeah.
Oh, hypothermia, real quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like giant ocean cats, and you're like a little toy for them to play with.
Yeah, pretty
Sometimes
much.
I get a little close to the kayakers too. Sometimes I see some videos where I'm like,
hell no, dude.
About that.
I'd be out of there. I'd be paddling quick.
The way they throw around the seals, you know, you can just imagine how strong they are. They just toss them into the air.
Yeah. I mean, like I watched Blackfish, and I know that was a super biased documentary, but the footage of like the dude trying to get to the surface, and that thing just keeps coming up and pulling him down just before he gets there, and then he does it again, it pulls him down again. I was like, dude, I would have just said, just go ahead and kill me, man. Like this is this is horrible.
Yeah, I cannot imagine, man. Yeah, they filmed Free Willy around here, the Puget Sound.
Yep.
Yep. Like all 4 of those movies that I watched as a kid that I'm pretty sure I still have on VHS somewhere in my dad's house.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
This actually might be worth a good bit of money on eBay now. If you
probably.
Land Before Time, I think I have like 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Did they make that many? I just remember the first one.
Fuck, they made like 14.
I think I stopped at 3.
They had so many.
I mean, it would be cool. Okay, so it would be cool to see killer whales, but as far as like being in a kayak and then one coming up and trying to check me out, that ain't.
Well, you don't have to do that. There's a lot.
I draw a line. There's not a boat big enough.
I'm not a big sea kayaker because I've been in boats where the water gets rough really fast. So I'd rather just stay in the lake when I do kayaking.
Same.
It happens here all the time. People go kayaking in the currents, take them, and they end up not being strong enough to be able to paddle against it and get, and they end up getting pulled out into the sounds and stuff like that. It's like,
that's like real. Jeff and I witnessed that. We were at Deception Pass. And we were on the beach there, and we just got a new camera, and we were like zooming in on people across the water and everything, and
waving for help. Y'all just like,
no,
it was legit.
It was like on the news and everything. Like this.
It's called Deception Pass.
Randy talks about how many suicides happen there all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's bad.
Well, it's a gorgeous bridge, but
yeah, this family of kayakers. Well, mom and dad
paddleboarders.
Mom and dad were in a kayak together.
Inflatable kayak,
mind you.
Oh God!
And then their 2 kids, or was it 3 kids?
3 kids.
3 kids were on 2 paddleboards. Like the middle son with like the youngest daughter were on one, and then the oldest boy was on the other, and they were trying to fucking paddleboard across Deception Pass. Where like the currents like literally
it whirlpools there.
Yeah, it does.
That's literally what happened.
So bad.
And there's like the parents were like struggling to get across, and then you just see the kids like trying to paddle, and they just literally just whoop, there they go.
Yep, onto the other side of the bridge.
They disappeared. We're like,
I got stuck underneath in an 18-foot aluminum boat. Like the current can get bad under that bridge fast because you'll have outgoing tides from the sound. And then you'll have westerly winds come in. So you'll create this huge offset of these roller waves. And it's just really dangerous. And then it swirls there too, because they say a lot of like giant squid and stuff live there. If you boat over that area, it's between like 200 and 300 feet deep there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just eats away at the bottom underneath it. Yeah.
Yeah. They thought those kids were okay because like it was a whale watching boat.
A whale watching boat saved them.
The parents came to the shore, like looked back, were freaking out, like had a local fisherman call somebody.
Fish and Wildlife came. They were trying to help them find them.
So a whaling boat went and found them somewhere downriver, and
we have an entirely volunteer run, like Marine Rescue Squadron is what it's called. So when people like in kayaks and stuff get lost, MRS gets called, and they have to go out there and get them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was scary because that little girl was only like.
They were less than 10.
Yeah, like she was like
less
6
than 10
years old
on a paddleboard out there. I was like, oh hell no, that is not okay.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. That's why Fire and Rescue is right there at Cornet Bay too, because they're so used to getting those calls.
Yeah, they were not happy.
I think parents like that should be, held accountable in some kind of way because you're putting your kid out there. Not okay.
They should do the research, but unless you understand what you're getting into, like you just think it's paddle boarding, Like I've had a lot of people ask me to take them out to like there's like caves and stuff out there, but you have to read the weather and the tides and like make sure you know what time it is, and it's a lot of planning to actually do it the right way, and then you can still run into something,
Well, especially if they're people that aren't used to being near water, like if they live in like the middle of the country where it's like landlocked and they don't realize that things like tides and currents are very real,
Yep.
Happens all the time out here.
Yeah.
So all I know is I just checked.
Beautiful but deadly.
I just checked iNaturalist, and you guys don't have a single rattlesnake within like 100 miles.
No, it's on the east side.
Only on the east side of the mountains. So that's why I tell my kids on this side of the mountains, they can look and touch whatever they want. When we go camping on the east side, they have to ask first, and if they can't identify it themselves.
That's smart. That's good.
Y'all have rubber boas up there, right?
Yeah,
I've never found one. They're usually down southwest, I heard.
Yeah, Ryan gave us some spots to hit up. So
towards Oregon or what?
Yeah, towards down there in that area.
That's where I heard. Yeah,
he says they're all over the place up here, though. So
you just got to find the spots where they're
he
at.
went to.
Because everything's just so populated. Like, there's so much new construction fucking everywhere.
And you could field collect those in Idaho because they're also found in Idaho, but you cannot field collect them here in Washington State, sadly.
It's kind of weird because it's kind of like the opposite of California, from my understanding. So, like, in California, you can collect or keep native species that we found in the state. But in Washington, it's the opposite. Like, you're not allowed to keep anything native here.
No, you can't. No venomous.
Even if it's captive bred. Like,
it's permit required, but they don't tell you how to use. You know, how to get a permit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're not even supposed to collect something dead and keep it in your freezer.
You're not supposed to touch it, apparently.
Yeah.
It's super strict here. Oregon, you can keep whatever the hell you want.
We know that.
So,
as long as you don't mess with the redwoods, they're cool.
Yeah.
Those are nice redwoods, though.
that would be neat. Like, at some point before I die, it would be nice to go out there and see those.
Yeah. My aunt lives in Eureka, California. The Humboldt County. That area is just beautiful, man. Northern California. Yeah.
I feel like you can see pictures of them all you want, but you can't get a true context and appreciation for just how damn big those things are unless you see them.
I don't think it's there anymore, but you used to be able to drive through one. There's a highway that went through one. So you can just see how big they were.
Yeah, I believe you still can. It was they basically set up the road up the mountain. Through it.
I don't know how they did that without killing it.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's dead, but I think they just like preserved it and chopped the top off pretty much and just showing. Yeah, and they had like pictures and stuff of showing people built houses inside these trees.
That's insane.
Wow.
Like the Keebler elves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Phil, our dream can finally come true.
Well, if you do that, then we all gotta make a road trip out to Yellowstone and visit with Tyler and
Katie really wants to go out there.
Yeah, I do too.
Katie wants to go out there really bad.
I've only been there once, and it was mostly closed, and it sucked. But it was actually really beautiful just to like go out there. I wish I had done more hiking.
Knowing our luck, we'd go out there, and then that would be when the super volcano finally erupts and Pompeii 2.0.
Flip a coin. It's a chance.
Sounds like most of the world would be pretty screwed if it went off anyways. So
yeah, I don't think we'd be missing out much. So
no, from what I hear, that ash cloud will block off the sun from a lot of the states in Canada for quite a while. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It'd be pretty cool to see some like wild bison too. I don't know if they have those out there or not.
They do. They have a lot.
You see that video of the lady? I saw a video yesterday on Instagram of a lady who was walking up to one. And of course, it started charging, and so she turned around and ran, and she tripped. Yep, she tripped.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, "You jackass!" Like, what makes you think those are like?
But
friendly?
How lucky was she that it just stopped? You know, the boyfriend just took off. Like, I'm out of here.
Women and children last.
Get a new boyfriend.
See you on the other side,
Jeff.
What would I do?
Yeah, if a buffalo,
I'd hug it.
What do you?
He'd go jump on the back.
I just kidding. I'd run.
He'd check on you afterwards.
I'm tripping you. I'm going out of here. I'm going fast.
I'm tripping you up.
I'm just kidding. I love you.
Oh, you're gonna pay for that later. It's okay.
Oh shit.
Well, I think Casey explained that there was like, I guess it's not even necessarily Americans, but like people visiting the States that have just seen pictures of buffalo don't really think that they're of any sort of danger, and so they think that they're like the deer and that they can go up to them and try and like pet them and stuff.
Well, because like you go to some of those parking lots and some of those rest stops and stuff, like elk will literally come up right to your car expecting you to feed them, but you still need to be very cautious because those things are fucking huge.
Like
have you guys ever gone to that game farm here where they stick their heads in the car and you can feed them bread?
No.
I want to.
That's pretty cool. You guys got to go to over on Squim on the peninsula. They have a game farm. Yeah. And they have like wild cats. They have a little reptile room there too, which you drive around the zoo and you just feed. They have bears and you just like throw all these animals bread and they just eat it.
Wow.
Some of them stick their heads in the car. It's cool.
How far are y'all from like the Alaskan border? Like, what's the closest?
You gotta go through Canada for
country
that.
away.
I guess by water, maybe a little closer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Alaska. It's beautiful there too, but fuck, it's cold.
The Canadian border is not far though from us at all.
Only a couple hours.
Especially from Randy, it's really close to him.
Yeah, I've boated up that way, but like Border Patrol and
I was gonna say, do they
Coast Guard's right there? They're pretty on top
this
of
guy
that
doing?
right there,
Hey, Lash is in
So-
the comments. He's been in the hobby, especially local, a long time. I'm glad.
I
he
love
finally came out.
Lash. I've known that guy since like early 2000s, man. He's awesome.
Super knowledgeable guy. He's actually who we got our olives from and our inlands from.
Yeah, I won't let him get out of the hobby. So if he sells all his snakes, I'm giving him snakes.
100%. Please do. We're keeping him around for sure. He's a nice guy.
You heard that, Lash.
No, but no, out here like we have the wolf sanctuary, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, y'all went to that not that long ago, right?
Yeah,
the video.
That was pretty neat. They have a lot of cool stuff that you can kind of interact with, but
that Dave guy actually vended at one of the reptile expos years ago. He
used to own that place, right? Because I think it's his wife now.
Because I think did he bring like wolf puppies to one of the shows?
Yeah, he brought some wolf. It was a Seattle show. It was like a weird offshoot show, maybe 2010 or 9 or something like that. He brought wolves and cougars and some owls, and he did bring some venomous snakes and stuff too, because he used to have a handler.
Okay. Did they have a table? Is that like they had a table in like the corner and it was all set up and
it was a weird show. It was like the worst parking ever, but they were kind of there was like a stage and they were actually on the stage.
Okay.
They used to travel, so
we
talked to
he had a big van truck thing that he would take all the animals in. It was really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird
thing that was like made for them.
Yeah, so I guess his ex-wife now she owns it with her daughter and things like that. They don't do the traveling anymore, from what I understand, but still they got some sloths now, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, they had.
Those are kind of weird. Not gonna lie, kind of creepy.
They're actually kind of terrifying. Like
their eyes strong, out, right? Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to hold it, but yeah, from what I hear, they
reached at us, and I was like, "No, that's okay.
No.
Don't touch me.
Yeah,
grab the strong hand."
Oh God.
Yeah, their eyes kind of freak me out.
We have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, dude, they're like the babies are adorable, but damn it, those adults give me the willies, man. Like they got those creepy, just glassy.
Yeah, like they don't blink.
I hate the way they look when they're crawling on the ground. Like it's just the creepiest little, horror movie child that just came out of this. It's just like crawling across the floor.
That's like the one thing that actually terrifies
me. It's like the ring coming after you. Like, oh hell no.
It reminds me of like when koala bears, like they get really mad, they'll walk on their hind legs and like they're
looks like Chucky, dude.
Yeah, like their fucking hands are fucking terrifying, and they come at you like fucking Spock, and they're just like they got like this chameleon branch hands,
like a chameleon,
big ass claws, and then they like make this terrible noise, and you're just like, what are you?
Scream out of nightmares.
Yeah,
I'm coming to take your skin, Kendra.
Like they're so cute when they're like up in a tree and like away from me. But like when they're mad and like on the ground running at you, like
raccoons are the same way. They're all adorable and stuff until they're not.
Right.
Yeah. Like
little
possums.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah, possums are terrifying too.
You got to hold a raccoon at the last show, right?
Oh my god, that was so fun. That
Scallop
was
show? Yeah, somebody brought a raccoon, a baby.
Was that Blaine's or what?
No, Sherry Geller, a part of. Oh, I'm gonna forget that. Why am I forgetting this?
You ever corner one, they get nasty real quick.
Well, so he was like, it was a little baby raccoon that had been abandoned or something like that, and he did not like men, and so like he would make this like chittering sounds like when females would walk by and like want to be held, but he would let you the fuck know, like he was like, don't touch me.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh,
sorry, Jeff.
He is the mustache, you know.
Intimidated.
Tom Selleck's coming to get me.
Fucked up.
Oh, I know now what your Halloween costume's gonna be.
No. It was a good time though. We actually picked up an animal. Somebody, Dan, I can't pronounce his last name.
What?
Rowanowski. He
Miller?
brought up Dan Conviction Reptiles. He brought up a
yeah.
carpet for us.
Yeah, I got to meet that guy too. He was an awesome guy too.
Super
I
nice
follow.
guy.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, I believe.
He has such
absolutely.
a cool setup at shows. Like, I'm fucking jealous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he has
does.
like a whole like wooden panel thing behind him. There's like
nice
lights. He makes hooks. He makes all sorts of stuff, and he brings really wicked animals. Like,
super low key, not on
Super
Facebook,
low-key.
but Instagram. But yeah, he's super nice.
yeah,
guy.
he's a showstopper at like our local expos. I'm like, damn, up there, Stan. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he
That's
came
you.
up from Portland. I think is where he's from.
Something like that. Yeah, that was a drive for him. So I'm glad he was able to make it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
he'd
awesome.
travel that far. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't expect a lot of these people to travel as far as they did.
How many people do you think showed up? Like 40 or 50 or?
I was thinking that 40
like
plus
30,
maybe.
Yeah, 30,
Yeah.
35 to
More than
40
35
people.
at least 35.
Yeah,
though.
because I think there was like 15 people in like each section of the house at one time. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty nuts because people were in the back, upstairs patio, downstairs patio,
exactly.
snake room, garage, kitchen, living room, all over the place. It was pretty good time though, and I liked towards the end too, is we kind of all sat around, the last couple people for the event, and Ryan and Nick were going back and forth on their herping stories, Mark too.
Yeah,
and it was just kind of epic. It was hilarious about Ryan almost dying because he forgot water. It was good times.
That was.
You get Ryan talking, man, and he has some great stories. It's not hard to get Nick talking, but sometimes you have to just pry at Ryan a little bit. But when he's comfortable and he's around people he enjoys, he'll open up. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Between him and Mark, that was pretty much a treat. Like you said, Nick is willing to talk, and that's awesome. But like Mark and Ryan were a treat to kind of sit back and kind of chat with, or even overhear their stories.
Yeah,
definitely. As the night went on, it was kind of interesting because Ryan kind of posted up, and him and Mark were pretty set pretty well, and people would kind of rotate through and kind of pick their brains on different things. So couple points, I just was a fly on the wall sitting there listening to those guys go back and forth.
Yeah,
it was also pretty funny when you'd overhear Nick talking, and a couple times different people randomly would call him out on his shit. He'd be talking to somebody.
Oh yeah, I call him out every chance I get.
Flat out just call bullshit. They'd stop their conversation and they'd overhear.
Yep.
He just head down like fuck.
Nick just dropped his head like fuck. The only people that could call bullshit just did. So that was fun a few times on that. But Ryan was awesome.
That's why when we all hang out, we kind of give Nick shit, but it's out of love, we all love Nick, 100%. But it's absolutely like we were looking for the red carpet when he showed up, but we couldn't find it.
Yeah, I got wet in the rain, but he pulled up.
We didn't want it to get muddy.
I love that.
It was blue this time. Sorry,
it's a soaking wet blue towel.
It's the best we got.
Yeah,
those Morelia bombs though, those were nuts, man.
Yeah.
I was like, Brandon, you were a crackhead for making this. Like, what are you doing to people right now? Oh, and then he tried. His goal for the night was to get Kendra drunk, and she started off with taking shots of Everclear.
I was gonna say he didn't have a hard time.
She's like, no, I'll get myself drunk, motherfucker.
I am strong. I can do this.
I am strong like ox.
He literally told everybody, "All right, guys, our goal is to get Kendra drunk." 5 minutes later, she came in the garage, grabbed Jello shot, and then a shot.
Yeah, dude.
Walked away, went to the backyard, started a conversation, pulled out a bottle of apple juice moonshine, and started.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's so dangerous.
You chose the wrong person to target on getting drunk.
Yeah.
She's gonna do this.
A lot of liquors being mixed in the system.
Yes.
Oh, so much alcohol.
Even with all that alcohol consumed, it really didn't get. It wasn't one of the, and that many people, it wasn't to the point where you had most parties, especially when you have that many people, you get somebody that's just outrageous, or there's something going on, or something you've got.
It wasn't sloppy or anything. Yeah, everyone had a good time.
Sloppy.
Everybody was respectful, 100%.
Yeah.
It was
absolutely
good.
It was
really
done
fun.
real well.
Yeah.
I can't think
wish
of.
I could have got drunk, but I had to drive almost 2 hours back in the rain at night, almost at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
I don't think that wouldn't have ended well.
Came. Yeah, no, that would have been bad. Yeah, I'm just glad you came, Randy, because I knew you have a busy schedule.
Yeah.
Especially with all those sports
it just
events
worked out.
going on.
Yeah.
Even tonight, man, I told my wife, I was like, hey, can I jump on the podcast? And she's like, I have to take 4 kids to practice today. And I'm like, I know. But
I love you. I love you.
She's amazing. So she's awesome. She didn't even hesitate. She's like, yeah, no problem. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll have to bring her next time.
It's been a
definitely
nice running theme with all the Carpet Fests. I don't think there's ever been any like major incidents with anybody. You know, there's been like fights or anything like that. You know, even with Northeast stuff. Yeah, it's all been like people get hugging and stuff. People have fun, but they don't. You know, it doesn't take a turn.
No, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good people. It was a good crowd too. I think.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a complete sausage fest.
Like, no, a lot of women showed up. You know, in the hobby,
and like they, cool. You know, like even if they were interested in reptiles, like they were curious, like they wanted to learn, and that was cool, and they felt comfortable, and like that was my goal. Like I just want everyone to be like, even if you don't know somebody, you're comfortable enough to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because that's a big thing for me is like, if you're going to go to someone's house, like I totally get it. You're already on edge.
Yeah.
In the middle of COVID, like 10 times, totally get it. Understandable. But if you're comfortable, you know, we had different drinks, we had different food. We're like, just fucking mingle. Like we want that to work for people and everyone to be okay.
Speak of the devil. Your wife's in the chat, Randy.
Oh, there she is.
Hey. She's the one that got me into all the monitors and stuff. She knew I liked them, but I got them. So those are her projects. So I want her to come next time, but she's always trying to help me out with the kids. So
yeah, you're set up for the monitors too. That is awesome. I just want to say,
dude, I'm so nervous because I like dialed in my Nest box yesterday and I have everything ready. My girls are super fat, but I just don't want to open the trap door yet. I'm so nervous.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Same about the Apodora. Now that I know I have a pair, I'm like,
yeah, man. It's like, yeah, you can breed them, but you might lose one or two, or it'd be a shit show, or it could be perfect. I mean, who knows?
The one already has one eye. Like, come on, don't do any damage.
Right.
It's a good time though, and I'm glad too. Another thing was a lot of people they kept a different amount of species. Like Tony, he's got the elephant trunk snakes. There's a guy local, Chad Littlewood. He, breeds the hunter-flower rat snakes. He's also an exotic vet at probably our favorite exotic vet that we go to. What's it called? It's
C-Beam.
C-Beam, yeah. What's the stand for though?
Center for Bird and Exotic Animal Medicine.
Yeah, he works there, which is just super awesome. So I think the variety of like people that the keepers was just super cool because you. It was good
seeing him too because like him and I have seen each other since like the early 2000s, mid 2000s when we used to go to the shows, but we never really talked. So when we saw each other at the show, we're like, do we know each other? Like, yeah, we see each other a lot. I guess not. So
and he stays low key too. So
yeah,
it was
cool
and
then I do too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's also awesome that people that aren't even sort of in the social circle of things are willing to come out to, like, I know at Southeast Carpet Fest, there were plenty of people that were like, yeah, I heard about it and figured I'd come check it out. It wasn't like the fact that people are comfortable enough to come to something like that. And because I can see where it would be fairly intimidating, I guess, to some people, but the fact that you see so many new faces and so many people that are even fairly new to the hobby coming out of those things and, they hit it off and,
no, exactly. And like, that's like, because our community is so small, you don't get a lot of those opportunities to really meet each other other than like the shows we have 4 to 5 times a year, in person. And even then, if like it's somebody you really want to talk to, they're at a show, they might be vending.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's hard to really like connect. And so we really wanted to make this like a really good like event for people. And sometimes we have like these little breeder barbecues in between, but with COVID, it's been kind of difficult. Our friend Mike Jankowski usually hosts those over in Graham, Washington. So that's, that's kind of a middle ground for a lot of people. And so we really want to see if we can try to get like something else going on throughout the year, especially like closer to shows.
Yeah, like quarterly meetups or something.
Yeah,
are those breeder barbecues? Are those more like ball python things, or are they just kind of?
It started out like that. It really did. But like because all Mike and Josh and Travis and all those good guys, they're all ball python breeders. Not a big thing. I started out as really just a ball python breeder who had a couple white lips, so it wasn't really like a big thing, and it's really grown I think into more.
Awesome.
Diverse species.
Emily and Chris started coming to them.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
then maybe
Yeah.
I'll show up if I see them. Then I just didn't
Yeah.
know, like.
I know it can be, when you get into
And it's no offense at all. I just sometimes it's just like
snob and.
Well, I think a big thing too is like, they feel like that everybody, kind of, if you keep something other than ball pythons, they already feel that kind of heat. Like, oh, you breed ball pythons? That's okay. Everybody's got ball pythons.
Yeah.
So when you start like networking and actually talking to them, you can start to get them into other different species and start like opening up their eyes to all the other cool shit that's out there. And that's what I love.
Absolutely. Because like being a female in the hobby, and like I was like, ball pythons are cool, but I want to get into other stuff. I didn't have the support, but I want to get into this stuff. Like just anybody who does ball pythons who might, like our friend Nick, who really wanted to get into something. He does ball pythons, and he's like, I want to do something else, but they're just so intimidating. And I'm like, they're not though. They seem like it. But here, hold this animal. Like, see what it's like. The care is very similar. Like, you don't really have to do a lot of anything different.
Anything new is intimidating. Yeah,
absolutely. 100%. And there's just not, with as much social media out there, as much as people talk, there's just like almost too much information for people.
Yeah, you don't know where to start sometimes.
Exactly. And so that can be intimidating too. Is like you don't know what the real truth is versus like, bullshit that somebody just made up. And so you don't want to drop a bunch of money on an animal and then end up killing it because you're keeping it like a corn snake or something,
Yeah.
So it's nice to get people out of their comfort zones, especially in our area.
Well, I mean, if you guys get people out of your comfort zone in your area, I mean, we did that Friday night, ran into that guy that you guys knew him somewhat distantly, but you guys didn't realize. And it was one of those of, hey, so-and-so, you bought snakes from so-and-so.
Oh,
hey.
Leon,
Yeah, that was that. So we had dinner at Outback.
We ended up showing.
Yeah. We had dinner at Outback. Me, Brandon, Tony, Kendra, and Tyler. And there was a gentleman, his name is Leon, and he was at a table right behind us, or right in front of us, or whatever. And he overheard us talking. He's like, "Hey, I know you guys."
The Order of the Squamata. Yeah, that's Leon.
We told him about Carpet Fest, and he ended up showing up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So that was like, I was like, damn, small world. Like,
you just never know who's around you.
Yeah.
That's cool. So.
And I'm excited to see where it goes because we are small in our area comparative to California or Florida.
But it's growing.
That's why those like events like this are even more important though, because it helps. Exactly. It's like almost like a beacon of sorts for people that may not realize that there's that many people around.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this hobby for over 10 years, and I never knew like Carpet Fest was a thing.
Yep.
And I never knew about like a lot of these people other than going to shows. And again, we only have shows, quarterly essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we don't get to really meet a lot of people and be able to share that passion. And then, Facebook kind of did a whole thing with that. But before then, it was just like everyone was doing their own thing. There wasn't a lot of information out there. But if you're able to meet people, pick their brains, see some of the stuff they actually have, which was really cool because we have a good variety of animals here. Mm-hmm. That it helped people kind of get out. We didn't just have ball pythons. We had other stuff too.
Absolutely.
You guys unquestionably have a killer variety.
But even your ball pythons are badass, and just people sometimes I think they just overlook that because of there's like a weird movement going on right now about like, you see that too? Like people are like, oh, ball pythons, and they just kind of overlook it. Like it's like that got so many people into the hobby. Like that was my first snake. That was the second snake that I bred. I still love ball pythons, and I don't have anything against them. I just like a little bit more challenging.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, guess what sells at shows? Ball pythons.
Ball pythons. Absolutely. 100%.
They get the cold shoulder all the time? Yeah, 100% they do because there's so many at shows. But at the end of the day, that's what people are feeling more comfortable to buy at a show.
Absolutely.
Because there's not enough information about all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think we, as the people that keep all the other different stuff, need to put more information out there, make keepers feel more comfortable trying out a different species. Because if you've never seen a white lip or kept a white lip before, know somebody that has one, you just read how much of an asshole they are and how they'll die real quick. Or like a green tree. You just hear that, you'll kill them real quick and easy. But unless you talk to somebody that actually keeps them and things like that, you're not going to want to get into something like that.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I think showing people that, hey, it's doable. These are not as difficult as you think. As long as you have the knowledge that it takes to care for them, you're set. You're good to go.
Oh yeah.
I hope
there's
that
a
we showed people that.
lot of
Yeah.
species that are still plagued by that old, outdated sort of mythology or misinformation.
I
Well,
mean,
just
it's-
talking to Tony about his elephant trunk snakes,
Mhm.
I was talking,
Yeah.
you know, because I used to do like coral reef tanks and stuff, so I knew how much could go into aquatic setup.
Right.
And he's like, no way, he's like, no, I don't do water changes that much, and he's just like, so you start thinking about it and like, oh, maybe, maybe you could keep one. It's not as bad as you think, maybe. And people ask me about the Dominicans too, because they hear, Owen from NPR always talk about how nasty they are. But no, I keep like a layer of peat moss and then a layer of cypress mulch on top, and it helps keep the dust down on the peat moss. And then when they go to the bathroom, it just clumps up like kitty litter.
Yeah.
So it just, everyone has their own little methods of keeping these animals, and it could help, So we start sharing that stuff, and it just helps.
Mhm.
That's like I always hear that
it is.
all white lips are assholes.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yep.
We
Most
have
of yours are. No, I'm just kidding.
most of I'd say about half of them are. Half of them we can handle.
that's okay.
Mhm.
But that's
And-
okay.
One
That's
out
what
of three.
1 out of 3, right? Mostly with the bigger ones are more chill because they gain that confidence. I mean, but as baby snakes, just like a Macklets python, Macklet. No, I'm just kidding. The Macklets pythons, they're super defensive as babies, just like a carpet python, things like that. So
I accidentally called them Macklets at the
on
on Saturday, and he almost kicked me out. So
I was like, "There's the door, Randy. Get the fuck out." That's why we use scientific names around here.
Who sent you?
I think most of the issues is the ball pythons are so popular. For so long,
Yeah.
they've gotten so popular. They're known to be the simple ones, just generically
Quote,
simple.
unquote.
We discussed it this weekend. I
Simple.
mean, the one thing I handled a bunch of your stuff
Oh yeah,
and cleaning and stuff. The only thing that truly tried to eat me was a ball python. So
Yeah.
I did
Really?
things. Yeah, it's the only thing that really took. I mean, I had the duns out, I had the max out, I had some of the bait. I handled throughout between Friday and Saturday, in the mornings and the evenings, handled a variety of different ones, all the way down to the max, the sabus. The sabus were a little more cantankerous, but once they were out, it wasn't a problem. But the ball python's the only thing that really took a real swing at me.
yeah,
So they have the general public's view of that they're easygoing for the necessities of they really don't want necessarily to strike. But at the same time, I think the problem with the other variety stuff is it's got the bad reputation because the information, like they said, is a lot of it's outdated, or it just has in the social age where a lot of film stuff. And when something's small and strikes a lot, we like to film it for some reason.
yep,
And then that's out there. And then you hear, well, this says, oh, the people keeping it who really like them, they're constantly saying they're a pain in the ass. It's like, well,
Yeah.
if you keep it and you love them and you think it's a pain in the ass, maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is we can kind of deter that, because when we keep them, when we really like them, we understand the pain in the ass side, but we say that with an understanding behind it. But I don't know that we necessarily comprehend what we're portraying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I said it this weekend talking to people that are interested in the elephant trunk. It's not one for everybody, but
I'm losing you, Tony.
you're
Ruh-roh.
serious about to get to that point, they may not be
Tony.
listening to your people.
We caught none of that.
I don't know what she said, but it sounded
kept-
good.
Kept going in and out. Think he might be gone.
Uh-oh.
Rest in peace. No,
Yeah.
but like he was saying, it's just like, I don't
Nice.
think a lot of these people are giving the other species, a chance too. Like, especially when you get a baby, like liasses in general, like the savus or the macklot, that things like that, they are super defensive as babies. You don't give them time, to grow out of that, then you're of course going to have a bad opportunity. It's the same with baby carpets sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some of them, like RIJs, are super, super feisty. But now they're starting to grow out of it. So I don't know, if you just got to give them a chance. They're not something that's just going to roll over and ball up like a ball python as babies. So I think more people get more comfortable with reading a snake's behavior and they start to understand it and respect that. I think they'll be set. You good,
I think
Tony? You back?
It's also
that,
remembering that if things were really as difficult as some people make them out to be, then no one would be keeping them.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, there's that pro and cons, right? Like I think white lips are a really good poster child for that. Is like the Instagram thing, you know, like they're beautiful rainbow black and white animals. They look great in photos, but then like, you know, people are like, oh, I want a white lip, but I'm like, but do you? Like, let me school you for a second. Like, are you okay with getting bit? Because if you aren't, these are not the animals for you. Because 100%.
I have bought and sold them 3 times.
Yeah, they're not for everybody. And some people are just like, well, I just want that Instagram, you know, photogenic animal for my Instagram followers. I'm like, then you want a fucking rainbow boa. Like, you don't want this animal. Like, I promise you don't want it. You know, and
my biggest thing with the white lips is the hydration, right? You cannot leave them without water for not even a day, I would say, because they are so sensitive on that aspect. They will roll over and die without water. And, you know, like, so if you go on vacations or you want a hands-off approach, like your Brettles, they could probably go a couple days without water and be completely fine. Ball python, same thing. But a white lip, no, not at all. And I think if you're not going prepared with a species like that, then you're not going to be successful at all. You're going to just be upset. So
yeah, and then you know, then people lose their passion because they might kill their favorite animal, not knowing, you know, unintentionally, and they lose that passion. I mean, that's happened to me multiple times. Like right from the get go, I like fucking cooked a bunch of eggs, and I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah,
and then I was like, "No, I'm not." Like, it happens. Mistakes happen. And you just kind of have to roll with the punches sometimes.
Yeah. You see it with chondros a lot. People get imported animals and then they end up rolling, and they're like, I mean, my first chondro like 10 years ago, it died, and after that, I was like, I'm never owning these things again.
Yeah, it happens.
It was like, this sucks. I just spent a ton of money. Well, I mean, at the time, it was a ton of money because I was, I don't know, like 20 or something, or not even. And it was disheartening. It was like, if this is what it's like, then why? Like, I don't want these things anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a give and take, right?
Unless you could be like Randy and just try 3 times and then finally decide that they're not for you.
It's funny because I hear a lot of people say that. They're like, fuck white lips.
White lips fucking suck.
I like the challenge, okay?
Tony keeps those yellow anaconda too. I don't know, man, how he does that.
You get bit by one of them, you survive, you'll be good. I mean, I got bit by Nikki, my big green anaconda, when I had her, and I was like, holy fuck, I could have died. Like,
no, it really is getting down to what you actually enjoy, and that's kind of what really appreciate and have the passion for. Because that's the thing, is you get in and out of these, you're interested in the white lips, but when you get in and out of it, it's like, that wasn't, and nothing against it, it just wasn't a passion project on that side.
Exactly.
And you just got it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Try them, don't try them, it works.
Well, you don't know if you like them or not until you try them. So that's
you try it.
Right.
And again, like we said, everybody has their opinions. You're hearing everybody's input, and it's like, well, I'll take your input. That's into consideration. But if you truly are passionate about it, it's something that even when you lose that 1 or that 2 or that 3 or do go however many, hopefully it's but I mean, we talked about it this weekend. To be truly successful, unfortunately, the fact is you're going to lose stuff. So, and it's a learning experience. And sometimes it's definitely a rough one, and it does weigh on you. But sometimes those passion ones aren't the common stuff, or aren't something that's readily available. So you have to learn. You may have to learn on the way, or some things you can find that care sheet or that assistance or somebody that has that experience you can kind of pick the brain of.
Absolutely. But to your point, Tony, like, if you don't have a passion, you're not going to ask those questions. You're not going to reach out to people. You're just going to fucking, read do the bare minimum Google care sheet, or listen to a regurgitating Richard on how to handle something or how to keep.
And that's
species.
The commons. Yep.
And that's why, I think we've had that conversation before, where social media can be good, and it has its bad aspects too. But I mean, it still beats at least trying to manage or learn on the go with the species you know nothing about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Henry's been harping at me for years he's like, oh, you got this, you got that. He's like, you don't care. And he was like, look, you got to get stuff that you're passionate about. You got to get stuff that you want to interact with. You want to work with it. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And I was like, fuck, man, he's right. And I got this and I got that. And now, like, I'm constantly enthusiastic about my collection, you know?
Yeah. Because sometimes we get stuff to, like, impress other people, I think. And then sometimes you have to take a step. Yeah, you have to take a step back, and you just gotta be like, what makes me happy? You know, not worrying about what anyone else wants.
Corn snakes.
Well, that's
I like my Amazons, man. I love them.
And
but see, like, I've kept Amazons, and I like after a while, I finally just decided like those and Antaresia, they're just not my thing. I love
not
Amazons,
your thing. Yeah,
but I just, you know what, I'm over it. Like
that was ours
with
the greens, the green anacondas. We're like, these are awesome and magnificent animals. However, it's hard to coordinate cleanings when you need 2 people and you don't have a filtration system set up, and it takes up literally like an entire wall of our room, and we don't have a lot of space.
Where did you keep them at when you had them?
In that main room.
In their bathtub.
In their bathroom,
We had
where the couch was or something.
In our reptile room, we had an 8x4x3 enclosure with a 5-gallon insert tub, and for our big female, our big Nikki.
You guys did it right.
Yeah.
You guys did it right for a green anaconda. Most people don't provide anything. They provide maybe half that size, and not a water tub that big.
And a concrete bin, a concrete whatever.
Yeah. The trough, like a fucking pig trough or whatever.
Normally they're large water dishes for dogs.
Yeah,
exactly. We were really selective on who they went to, because we sold our female and our 2 males, and our female and male are adults, and then there's a sub-adult male as well. And we sold those to a guy that came to Cartfest, actually, Donovan. He keeps and breeds retics, and so we sold him the enclosure and everything like that, and he's got them set up pretty nice. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, because he has that passion for those big species, and we're like,
is that the guy there that his name was Dizzy on his name tag?
I don't know if he said Dizzy, but I know it. He's a tall white guy. I don't know.
I can't remember what he was wearing. His girl was there. But we knew we had a couple other people hit us up, and we're just like, you keep a ball python, or you keep a couple of corn. We had a couple people who had I keep this. I'm like, those are all species under 6 feet. Do you know what you're getting into? They're like, we have the space. I'm like, that's awesome.
I saw the movie with J-Lo and Ice Cube. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, right. And so we were really selective when we ended up rehoming them, because we were just like, these are not for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
And we don't want them. We don't want a situation where people get into it and it's just a flipping situation where they get it, they think they like it, then they want to turn around and sell it because they don't like them. And I think as keepers and breeders, we need to be more responsible in that way in general. So we were pretty good about who they went to, because it's...
Who's that, Randy?
That's Gunner.
Nice to see you, Gunner. That is
awesome. She's always up in my grill.
Sounds like our dogs, but they're upstairs right now.
I know, they're locked up. They're howling.
Yeah.
So what has everyone got planned as far as breeding? Anybody breeding anything this cooler season, or what's the plan for spring?
I'll let Randy go first on that one, because
me?
Yeah.
Well, I got my green tree monitors. I'm gonna probably try that soon here if I can find the balls to do that. But then I got probably 3 pairs of green tree pythons, so I'm gonna at least try 1 or 2 of those. That are ready. And then I have 4 pairs of Amazons that are ready, but I might only try 1 or 2. And then I have a trio of Dominicans and a pair of Dominicans that are all ready. So I don't want all of them to go. So I'm trying to be selective on what I do. If I can get like one of each species to go, I'll be really happy.
Nice. I'm really excited for those green tree monitors, though, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gonna be
me too.
epic.
That would be fun. So,
What's
Dude,
the
that's a
incubation on those?
what's that?
What's the incubation time on those? That's pretty long, right?
Probably like
Yeah,
a
dude,
freaking
like
year.
yeah, it's like 100 and some odd days. Yeah,
That's actually not bad for a monitor.
yeah.
Okay.
Super awesome. How about you, Tony?
I might have a few Poplin carpet clutches.
Yes.
Call them that.
Nice.
Haven't decided. Still kind of seeing out the females if I want to give them one more year, or if I feel like they're ready. And then I'm on the fence about pairing a yellow anaconda, doing a yellow anaconda pair. Brandon's pushing that I should, and I don't know, like we were talking about, I don't know that everybody, I don't like to, I can produce yellow anacondas, but I don't necessarily like to produce dozens of them. I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
They're a snake that I feel everybody can be appreciated, and they have a place and they deserve the respect, but I don't think everybody needs to own one.
Everybody is capable. Yeah.
It's always your buddies telling you to breed stuff. They're not the ones that have to deal with the babies.
Yeah, well, he's got a show coming up. I'm sending a couple babies with him to see how he does.
I was gonna say, just send some to him. If not,
well, that's the thing. I've already told him. I was like, well, next round of holdbacks, you better make room for an enclosure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My room's getting maxed with the holdbacks, but other than that, if I can find a male elephant, elephant trunk, I'd like to put him in and give him a chance and kind of observe that. But
that would be interesting.
But that's one that I don't anticipate. So I think on that end, I'm going to have to keep my fingers crossed that my youngest juvenile male is going to make it to breeding age.
Document that process though if you do it, because that would be awesome to read about.
Oh, if I can grow him all the way up, that'll be one. I think that'll be one stage of success that I feel like personally I will feel comfortable saying I checked off, because being able to grow a fresh imported juvenile from basically newborn up to breeding, that would be one check. But then the other thing is I want to do a couple where I have take a captive adult and have successfully transition and get it established and then go that far. And then I also want to do a couple more rounds with fresh import juveniles, raise them up just to kind of solidify that I feel confident on stuff for that.
Is there even a lot of information as far as those breeding, like in captivity? Is there much information out there as far as?
No.
They're live bears, right?
Yes, there's little to no information really readily available. You've got the scientific stuff, but even the scientific stuff, they can't really find them, study them too well. So you're very limited, and a lot of it's outdated and older stuff. But they're said
the gestation and stuff would be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm going with the approach that they're going to basically react or breed like my anacondas in a sense. So I'm kind of using what I would do with them, which is really not much, and just let the weather and ambient kind of take charge. But I'm interested to see how it goes. Huh?
You think they're spring breeders, or?
I don't think they're spring breeders. I don't think so. I think they're going to fall right in line. They're Indonesian, so I think they're going to just require a little bit of temperature change.
Doesn't really matter. Okay.
I think it's going to be a little bit of temperature change and just the right, hey, you guys are together and you're in the right mood. So one advantage that I've seen is I can at least cohab them to get without many concerns or issues. So that makes that part of the breeding part of it a little easier. It's just now you have to I personally will have to keep a little bit closer eye just to see what's going on and how they're interacting.
Don't let the Facebook police hear you say cohab, though.
I'll take all the rations.
Let your house burn down?
I'll take all the rations.
Yeah.
Cohab, I'll do that off and on. Elephant
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I've been open with those. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong, and they have to be separate. I actually have footage of two adults actively mid-hunt striking for the same fish, and one mid-strike deterring itself, realizing it was going to get the other. So their sense of touch is pretty extreme. So I'm not worried about cohabbing them, and I think we personally put we're too clean with ours, so that's why cohabbing is not necessarily the greatest. And then we like to put the smallest amount of space to be able to get the most amount of species. So I can't cram in the same room for days on end without having some kind of happiness, the argument, or some kind of event going on, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Phil, were you gonna say something about the green tree monitors?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never personally kept them, but I know a couple people by me that are acquaintances, if you will. Mm-hmm. They cohab them. They always cohab them, and then and they would just check the nest box and look, there's eggs, and that was it. And I know I have friends that was successful, and they never even saw a lock or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I had a cage built that has a trap door, so I can close them off if I actually want to separate them on each side. And each side I have the identical amount of heat and light sources, so it's like two cages connected.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah,
with anything.
We'll see.
You know?
I have a trio in there, and everyone's telling me not to do it with a trio, but I always tell people I have to learn the hard way for some reason. So I'm going to try it, but I'm going to be able to separate one out if I see something happen. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I think it's as long as there's enough space for everyone to get away from each other and stuff. I don't see what the big deal is. I truly think there's some species that actually do better when they're cohabbed. Mm-hmm. I mean, Riley's already pointed that out with the Malagasy hogs. He notices a very big difference that those do better when they are housed together rather than apart. And I think even with the Jansseni, my Jansseni seem to do really well together, and I keep them pretty much cohabbed all the time now.
My Dominicans do amazing. In fact, to breed them, I've talked to Crutchfield, and he says that you have to pretty much put a whole bunch of them together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put three of them together, and then I'm going to put a pair together. But I anticipate the trio to go and the pair not to.
So we'll see. That's one male to two females when you're that three?
Yeah. Two males to one female. Yeah. Okay. And the males, they don't combat or anything. They all just snuggle up in the hide. I've already tried to introduce them to see how it was going to be. And they've been chill so far. So
good.
That'd be interesting to see the two, especially if you do the comparison side by side of the single dedicated pairing versus the jumble pair.
Yep.
How far out are you from breeding those?
They'll be breeding this season.
This season, cool. That'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 5 coming on 6, so I probably won't get anything until the second time I try to breed them, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I want to add some Dominicans, man. So.
No.
Y'all made any headway with the Cyanea?
I think she's gonna go again. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why, but her behavior is different than normal again. So we lost that one egg that we got due to that heat wave. It dried it out, and I did not think about it, and it just dried it out way too much. When that room got 95 plus in that room, and I couldn't control that temperature in there. So sadly that we lost that one egg, but I'm hoping that we can get more eggs out of her. We do co-have our pair, and they do well together. We got multiple hides. We added an arboreal hide over the weekend, and the female just stays up there now.
Man, they love the shit out of those things.
Yeah, so they got kind of like a bottom hide on the ground floor. They got a kind of like a mid-high hide with a big cork bark.
I know you're giving them too many hides. I couldn't find them when I was there. I was like, where the hell are they? Goddamn hides.
That people let you know where she's at, though.
Oh,
She'll poke her little head out. She's like, hey, what's up, motherfucker? Get out of here.
Yeah, right on.
But I hope that having that many hides in there gives them, makes them feel more comfortable and they want to breed. The hard part is finding the eggs if she does give them to us. So we're constantly just checking in there and seeing what's going on. So, but the Cyanea, hopefully they go. I would love to get some babies from them.
Can you tell? I mean, do they balloon up pretty well when they're gravid, or is it pretty subtle?
From what Justin says, they do. So
it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious. Yeah,
they're not heavy bodied snakes to begin with. So anytime,
that's what I figured. It's like an
obvious.
Amazon when it has an ovulation, it's like whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
The hard part is just keeping an eye on them and finding them. So, but other than that, I mean, I think we're gonna go for the inlands this year. We have them paired up, obviously. So they're of size, of course, of age, and so hopefully we can just cycle them correctly. And
Got
things
the
like that.
Demerals again.
Yeah, Demerals, we're going to go for another litter with our we gave Rose the last year off, so we're going to attempt that one again with a different male this time. Get some different blood in them.
How's that litter that you guys had when you were on the show last time doing?
So good and bad. I mean, we got 3 live babies. One had a umbilical
a ton
issue.
Of dead ones, though. That was
5 stillborns and like 4 or 5 slugs. First time mom, so we're not too upset. She's kind of old. She's 12 years old. But
it was her first time breeding too. So.
It's first time breeding, and so we got 2 live babies. That the female we held back, and then our buddy Dan McMillan. I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but he's gonna get the male since he got a female from our last litter from Rose. So
get different blood and
small litter, but I'm just happy the female's okay, and we got some healthy babies out of it. So not too bummed about that, because the worst thing that can happen with breeding is the female doesn't recover well at all. But she's slamming food again, and she's looking good. So the Apodor we're playing around with now that we know we have a pair. I don't know, because that's terrifying. Just because they eat each other apparently.
Right.
Maybe like
might be a problem.
Might be, and how
it's even more. It's even more scary
too.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, get those Wise cameras and just hook them up, Bluetooth it to your phone or Wi-Fi, so you can see that shit when you're not home.
If you're not home and they're something bad is happening, you ain't stopping it anyways. You just get to sit there and watch them.
You just get to watch it on the way home.
Motherfucker!
Stop!
It's even more scary when they're as strong as they are.
Oh yeah, because I don't know if I would be able to get them off each other.
Like watching y'all try to get that hook back the other night was pretty entertaining in itself.
No, I don't know what you would do. Just leave them alone or dunk them in a thing of water or something.
Well, when they take the hook, all we can do is leave them alone. Like, hey, 30 minutes, just get comfortable and let go, please.
Yeah, we've done how to do that twice now with them. We're just like, cool, all right, well, the hook's now yours.
Yeah, and then Mark comes over there and just slaps them on the head. So I don't know. Maybe it's just us. We're trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we want live animals. Like, we're not, like if we do it, it's definitely going to be like a team effort. We're going to have to do it. We're both home. We both have like several hours
just available. A bucket of water,
wash them. Yeah. Rubbing alcohol, spray, whatever.
Everclear available, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Everybody's taking a shot.
Yeah.
But another thing too is northern white lips. We have a big female. I sent Phil a picture of our adult female. She's a crazy person. But so we're kind of nervous about that, because she is psychotic. Like
she strikes at everything that moves.
So putting the male in there is kind of nerve wracking, but we're gonna try those. I think our Southerns, we talked to Ryan.
I'm back.
And
there he is.
Hey, Tony.
Hey.
Yeah, Tony dropped and then Phil dropped.
Don't know what the hell is going on.
But the Northerns, we're gonna try those. The Southerns, I think they're too small. Just talking to Ryan and Mark, they think the same. They're of age. The female, I think she's about to turn 6. So I guess we just gotta feed her some more and get her up more size. The olives, we decided we're gonna hold off on that just because she's a little bit on the small side. She is 6 years old now. But again, better safe than sorry next year, right? So
when in doubt, wait it out.
Exactly. We're not in no rush. We're in this hobby for a long time. If we got to wait another year for all the babies, we'll wait another year. Ball python wise, we got a lot of pied projects we're excited about. I'll let her kind of talk about those.
Hypo-pied stuff, ultramel
Go
pied
grab
stuff.
a beer.
Yeah.
Fucking desert ghost pied stuff. Clowns. A lot of recessives.
We still have all the babies from last season or this season. So
we haven't really sold much just because we've been waiting for the show.
We haven't even posted anything up. So we have 70 babies, I think, right now that we're feeding and everything like that and taking care of. So we're just now starting to figure out what we want to hold back, and then what we want to sell. So now we got to figure out what we're pricing it at, get pictures of it, get it posted up on Morph Market, that kind of thing. So. But then at the same time, we're trying to think about what the pairings we're going to do. So
the whole back stuff's always the hardest. But I think it's kind of nice when we have shows quarterly because it gives you that time. But at the same time, there are times where I'm like, okay, I just wish we had a show this month right after, you know, we hatch a bunch of shit and they're ready to rock and roll and go to new homes. But no, we have to wait 4 months. You know, it's either you sell everything either online, which is these days can be kind of sketch, or you just wait and just plump everything up for a show. And we decided to kind of just plump everything up for the show.
Yeah, because we're at capacity right now in our main room as far as babies go. We have no empty bins. And then we have room upstairs in our quarantine room, a ton of empty rack space for babies, adults, sub-adults, whatever. But ideally, we stay in the main room. So hopefully we'll get some babies moved out at this next show that's going to be in Hillsboro next month. And then
Oregon.
We can start kind of feeling a little bit of relief as far as, you know, feeding and cleaning. Luckily, we have some help. Amanda, she's in the chat, Panda. She helps out with helping clean our babies for us, which is awesome. Because they poop and pee so much. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
The Hillsboro show, for anybody who's going, who's in the chat, who wants to go, it's in Hillsboro, Oregon, October 9th and 10th. It's a 2-day show, so it should be good. It should be a good show to go down there.
Yeah,
those are always fun. Yeah, Hillsboro.
Yeah, well, Portland's usually the biggest one, but with all the rioting in Portland and all that other bullshit that's going down,
yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, I don't think it was the best show. So I'm hoping that Hillsboro will kind of make up for it, and a lot of people will show up and have a good time. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Just had a big old toad hopping in my garage.
That's amazing. Go catch it.
It's a feeder.
It's gonna pee all over me, man.
That's okay. I want to see a toad.
Phil said a big storm hit and he lost everything, so he's out. So
I was gonna say, yeah, I saw the lightning and I thought it was like car lights or something. I was like, oh no, that's lightning.
See, this looks like a freaking spadefoot. This thing's huge if it is. Jesus.
Yeah, grab it.
Get
put
it.
it on camera.
Get it.
Go herping.
Live.
Do you guys find that most people in your area are itching to get out?
I think so. Like, especially just the turnout at Carpet Fest. I didn't expect as many people to come. I think people wanted to hang out with reptile people. They wanted to hang out and actually network.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was definitely a sigh of relief actually just chatting with everybody. Let's see this. What has he got? Uh-oh.
No.
Lost it. Reptile food's gone.
Jump on it.
So I like how you got rid of the anacondas, but then you got Apodora.
Yeah, and that was the part of the discussion. Like, hey, you know, we started looking at Apodora. That is so adorable.
Oh my god.
Hey, nice.
Did it pee on you yet? No. Name it R. Kelly.
Lick it.
R. Kelly. Drip, drip, dry.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Look at those eyes. That is nice.
That is not like the toads we see here or in Kansas.
That's nice. That's really cool.
Look at those colors. Jesus.
But yeah, like a big thing with the anacondas were like, hey, we want to get an Apodora. They're also big snakes. How much room do we have? What project do we want to focus on? And like me and Hakidra talked about, and I think Tony, we talked about it too. Some species are just not for everybody, and you got to figure out what you want to keep. Sometimes space is a factor, care is a factor, behavior is a factor, and ultimately we decided, hey, anacondas is not a project we want to pursue.
Yeah.
But Apodora is. Let's go ahead and move out our group of anacondas to somebody that is knowledgeable and ready to take that challenge on, and let's go ahead and keep something that we're more passionate about. And I think that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart though.
It's hard to do though, I'll tell you that much, because you put all that time and effort into those animals. It's like,
no, I had to do that too. Like last year, I just told myself, I was like, I'm starting to get kind of Noah's Arky here. I need to get rid of some of these onesies, twosies, you know, like, and just focus on the species that I really, really enjoy. I'm just too busy to have a whole bunch of pets.
And it's hard to do that, but it's definitely a conversation that people have to have with themselves. So,
well, I've sold my whole collection in 2014. That was tough.
Yeah.
You know, you can always get back into the hobby, but you'll never get those animals again.
No, and that's a big thing too, is like, we don't want to have that regret. Like, hey, I wish I had never sold that animal.
Oh, you will on some, but you know, it just depends on the situation. You know, if it comes down to making a payment on something or whatever the situation, like snakes are just a luxury.
No, yeah, 100%. That's why it's a hobby. It's not like our job, you know. I never want this to become a full-time gig, just personally. because
Same here.
I don't want to lose
That's
the love
why.
for it.
Absolutely. That's why people ask me all the time, "Hey, Randy, why don't you have like a business name or anything like that?" And it's like, well, I do my construction thing, and that keeps me busy. But that's not my love. My love is the snakes,
Mm-hmm.
And so people can come and talk to me personally, Randy. There's no business name. It may morph into that later on, but right now I just want to it's just my hobby, and I don't want insurance companies to look at it and think that I have a business too.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother story.
You already got 2 businesses, right?
Yeah, I have 2. So, I couldn't imagine trying to find insurance for reptile business. It's just,
Yeah. Well,
my broker would have a heart attack.
Who have a hobby of their hobby, essentially. And I'm like, money,
Yeah.
like the money we dump into our animals is enough. I don't think I can afford another hobby.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I try to go fishing sometimes, but it gets expensive. And I'm like, well, I need to get a box of feeders here soon.
Yeah.
Or I can get a new rod and reel, but it's about the same cost.
Yeah. I think like at the end of the day, like especially with like, I think with us, because we have so many different animals, like there's different care that's required, different requirements for every different species, right? And so it takes a lot of time. And I think the hardest challenge for us in the beginning was really like, spending that, how we're going to spend our time. We're going to do feedings on this day. We're going to try to do cleanings on this day. So we have a lot of that excess time to just spend together, and then, coming home every day after work and then being like, fuck, I don't want to get to that point where I'm like, fuck, I got to go clean the animals.
Yeah.
Or I
you guys pretty good about staying on that schedule?
It kind of fluctuates, to be honest.
We're pretty good though for the most part, I think.
And we have help, like our friend
thing.
Amanda. She loves getting experience as far as the different species that we have, different the amount of collection.
That's like bitching when you have someone like that. Yeah,
exactly. So that she's a lifesaver on that part because it helps keep it enjoyable for us because we do have I think a decent size collection, and cleaning can be a pain. And so when you have help, it's definitely, especially with the feeders. So we decided to do our own feeders because of cost. Like we have a lot of animals. I don't want to be spending that much money on frozen thawed. Plus,
where the hell do you keep the feeders?
At our secondary home.
I did that Friday night. I was like, wait a minute. Saturday morning, I looked at him. I was like, wait, we talked all day about you guys doing feeders.
Where's the rodents?
They're at my dad's house.
Oh, good. A good one. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
So he does all the like daily, upkeep, water, making sure the water's good.
Pretty good gig.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We could not have done it without him.
I talked about my dad so much because he's
so
just
supportive.
like, he's a fucking sweet dad. Like,
he's awesome.
That's good.
He's amazing.
He's retired. He actually kind of enjoys it because
he won't tell you though. He'll tell you how much he hates it, but I'm like, Dad, I know you like this.
Yeah, that's how men are though. We like to talk. Fuck this shit. And we're back doing it the next day.
You got too many snakes. Oh, we should build another rat rack.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
Yeah, we should make it fit in here a little nicer. Oh, really? Okay.
Are y'all using the cement mixer tubs?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
So
me and Jake need to build another rack, at least one more rack, and I want to build some with those. So.
We're gonna do something a little bit different. So like we have the smaller cement tub mixing tubs, and then there's the bigger ones, and we're gonna start. We've seen some people use those with larger groups of rats and have success, and so we're gonna build a couple racks of those here pretty soon. But as far as like the rodents though, the rodents themselves are completely fine. Like breeding, cleaning, things like that. That's fine. However, when you have a wild rat that starts chewing your water lines and flooding tubs, that's when it becomes very stressful. Yeah. Like there's a wild rat that we cannot catch. We don't want to put poison in there because then it dies somewhere we can't find it, and that would be a pain in the butt. So just recently he started, we buy a cruise rodent feed, and we buy like a pallet at a time, so we store all the bags in the garage. And he's just figured out recently how to bite into those bags and steal that food.
Motherfucker, there are troughs of food available. You don't need to bite anything.
They used to do that with the dog food when I worked at Walgreens.
Yeah,
I bet.
Exactly. It's like, why?
We had to throw away so much product because of damn rats. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we started using trash bins, the Brute Rubbermaid, and so we fill those up, and they're pretty secure and tough, I think. So hopefully he doesn't figure out how to chew into that. I don't think so, but you never know. It's a rat, so.
I know.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah,
And then-
see, mine are in that outside barn, and so we get rats in there periodically, and I have
Okay.
poison laid out, and if they die in there, whatever, I'll
Yeah.
deal with the smell. I don't care.
Yeah, my dad's not really fond of that idea, so
He's scared it's gonna crawl up into the attic or whatever and die, and then
you're like
never
in the
get it.
sub-basement.
I don't know. That stuff's acts pretty quick.
Does
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's it's not a slow death. I don't think it's pretty
okay.
fast.
Yeah, we're tempted.
Yeah.
Just gotta be careful with your dogs and cats and stuff around too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has a cat, so that's another fear is like I'm sure she's caught 1 or 2 mice that have gotten out. Because those little hoppers, they're quick as hell, and then if they get behind something, it's damn near impossible sometimes to try to catch them.
They're gone. Because my dad has power tools and like table saws and shit, so you can't really like move a lot of stuff around too much.
Yeah, especially not quickly.
So like if something gets out, you're like, fuck. Like it's just like a whole thing because you literally have to move everything out to find.
You need to just get like a couple rat terriers.
I know,
just
right?
Garage dogs.
Just get it.
Yeah. No, my dog. I'll let you borrow my dogs. They always hunt at night. I'll just hear them just flipping rats around. Just holy shit.
But I'll tell you what, being able to like feed your own feeders, know what you're feeding, know what your animals are eating, things like that, and like just the cost of it too. Like, hey, I can just pick any size I want.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, you don't need to coordinate with somebody an hour and a half away like I used to be like, hey, I need to come up on Saturday at 10 a.m. Spend an hour and a half to get down there, 3 hours to get back because of traffic.
You guys just do rats, or do you?
No,
rats and mice.
Do quail next?
Oh, we tried quail.
We did that.
Yeah. Not fun.
Wild rat came and killed our entire colony, like 40.
What?
Oh,
in like a
See,
week.
I've been thinking about the quail because I like feeding quail to a lot of things. Like my monitors, they love that. The green tree pythons, they freaking love that stuff. So
yeah, it's a good source of food. Like they stay pretty small. We had like this really nifty like rack bird system thing or whatever. We had like the poop trough or whatever. We had the whole 9 yards for them. And like in a week, we had a rat that was living under the patio. We caught it on camera one time. We're like, this little fucking thing.
Nuts.
And it came through.
It was vicious.
It like ripped them through like the 1/2-inch grate, like on the bottom. It ripped them through the bottom and shit. I'm like, what the? This thing is like.
We have
demonic.
raccoons will do that with chickens and stuff around.
Yeah,
here.
they will.
That's why we thought it was
Brutal.
a raccoon, but it was a fucking rat. Like it was a rat doing this thing.
Got to the point where he was just killing them. He wasn't even eating them. He just killed 15 of them at a time.
And Dominus Rex style, just fucking slaughter a whole shelf, and then go up the next night and go slaughter everything, and then like, he was a maniac.
Yeah, that was a kick in the stomach, but because we hatched those out because we got eggs from a local quail breeder, which is I think we're gonna start doing is getting some quail from him just for feeders wise because it is a leaner meat and
they hatch in literally 12 days.
Yeah,
like
they really?
They hatch in 12
like 12 to 16 days or something like that. Yeah,
that's why I was thinking about have to investigate that. Yeah.
And the thing is, if you're worried about viruses and stuff, like just freeze it first. Just freeze it first. Like I know Harlan says a lot about that, but just freeze it first, man.
Yeah, Harlan scares me as far as birds go. He's like, do not feed birds.
No, people have been doing it for a long time. Everyone has their own methods, and I'm sure like he has some. There is something to what he has to say about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But at the same time, you can be gun shy like that about everything.
They eat these in the wild. They are eating mostly birds, in my opinion, in the wild, especially like scrub pythons, carpets.
I think it's mostly a matter of making sure they're coming from a clean stock.
Yes, absolutely.
What's your source? So,
but I know, like I think you can buy eggs off eBay now and incubate them and hatch them.
Yeah.
Yep.
My dad used to buy peacock and turkey eggs off eBay and hatch them. It's crazy. Like they ship them to you and everything.
Yeah. Because the guy we know, he does it for their meat birds.
Yep.
So we know that they're good stock because he's selling adults as poultry
human
meat
feed,
for humans. So like you can't run a thing with you have parasites or whatever in your
I think you have to have a USDA if you're selling them.
Yeah. So.
I'm not sure if this guy does. I didn't check, but yeah.
Now that you see that, like
he's in Arlington, so I don't know.
I know you do for small mammals, but
yeah.
Yeah, me and Jake might have to look into that because my dad used to have some too. He used to have a lot of chickens and stuff, and so there's an old pen that we used for quail.
Yeah.
But we gave up on it because we used to have yellow rats bust into that cage and they'd eat all the freaking eggs
I bet,
and the birds.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do quail though, I reckon, and you can't do chickens, I recommend doing like a quail, like rack system, and which are super easy to do, and have chickens.
Yeah,
there
send
too,
me a
right
picture of
around
that
it.
if you have that.
Yeah.
I mean,
for
chickens.
sure.
We don't have chickens anymore, but
They would act as like a protector almost.
like
'cause they
quail
can't get
eggs,
to
I
the
like
quail.
feeding to the rat snakes and stuff. They'll eat quail eggs. The boiga, the cyanea, they'll eat the shit out of some quail eggs.
I haven't tried that yet. I kind of want to.
My
now.
female goes nuts over quail eggs. My male, he doesn't care about them, but
You just set them in there or what?
yeah, I'll get them. Like we have a grocery store sells them by the dozen for like $5, and I'll let them get to room temperature because they're usually refrigerated, and then I'll just pop like 2 or 3 in there, where there's sometimes 4, and they're gone. Like,
I heard that you have to put in like a little nest.
Yeah, I just made them whole.
Okay.
I just put them in a deli cup.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
It's kind of neat.
Because I've seen some people who make like a little fake nest. Like
I've thought about it. That she
don't you guys, Kendra, have like a Asian market next to you guys?
Yeah, right down the street. Yeah, it's not too far.
Yeah, they would probably sell all that good stuff.
Yeah, frog legs, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
They sell some weird shit in there. We were in there the other day because we went to get sushi, and I was just like,
chicken hearts.
I don't know how to say this, but I think it's something we own will probably eat it. Like, I don't know what this is.
Absolutely.
I think it's a fish.
Yeah. Give it to my monitors. They don't care what it is.
Yeah.
It's Gila food, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Watching her eat just today. Or, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday was just crazy. I kind of want to give her some eggs just to see kind of what she does. Because I imagine Gila monsters are eating eggs in the wild. But,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Did we name her?
No, we don't have a name for her yet. So,
okay.
Someone help us out with that.
Yeah, name our Gila monster. We think it's a girl, but we didn't ultrasound it. So
I don't know how to sexually get Gila monster.
Technically, we don't know.
I don't think you can tell you. I think you have.
Yeah, you gotta like ultrasound them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
That's everything I've read is to really confirm you have to ultrasound them.
You know what I've also heard too is it the Gila monsters or skinks, blue-tongued skinks, but someone said that they held a light up to the bottom of them and they were able to see the shadows of the hemipedes.
I've heard that in like crested geckos and like
if they're small enough, I'm sure, and if it's a bright enough light, probably.
Yeah. No. These were adults.
LED or something.
No, it may have been Shane from I don't remember who it was, but someone told me about that. Yeah.
Shane from Evergreen?
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a bright enough light, I'm sure it would work.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Surely Jeff has one of those hardcore LED lights around somewhere to blind somebody from the moon.
Yeah.
Definitely don't own any stream lights here. No, they're bright as hell. I mean, we could give it a try. Just see what happens.
Yeah, just see.
I'd be interested in knowing too. I mean,
you got to come hold her though, Randy.
I'm down. As long as I don't have a couple beers first, I'm down to hold it. You know, he like opened the cage. I'm like, well, we don't have to do it now. I just had a couple beers.
Everybody was asking to hold it though. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Can I hold it?
No, I know better.
Yeah, it's like when everyone finally got their liquid courage to like want to handle stuff. That's when they're like, "Yeah, can we hold that?" I'm like, "No."
No, yeah.
I've seen how many
That's the last thing
drinks you've had tonight. No, thank you.
I don't.
Somebody asked if they could hold the cyanide, and I'm like, I do not want to have a bite, and then you just have a bad reaction at my house.
Yeah.
See, I would ask to hold it if I was there alone, though.
Yeah, 100%. Like Tony was there that Friday or whatever, and we took her out because it was just Tony and us, right? But when there's like 35 people there around you, no,
it's
a little different, especially as
the way you guys
are. Yeah,
the way you guys had it too, like you had like locks or something on the cages.
Yep.
Dude, that was sweet because I would be worried about people like cracking stuff or trying to touch shit. Yeah. So it was awesome.
That was my concern with some of those cages. So we ended up getting like these baby locks that are meant for like holding cabinet doors shut or whatever. Because I was just like you can just flip those things up and just open the doors. I was like, absolutely. Like we're gonna be around and other people will be around, but like I just don't want to tempt somebody
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's not worth it. You don't want your animal to get hurt, nor anyone else. So.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah.
If you ever host a carpet fest, have locks for your stuff. It's a lifetime saver. Peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Peace of mind. Absolutely.
And poop spray. Lessons
Poop
learned,
spray.
right?
Yeah. I cannot imagine.
Now
20 bottles of Jägermeister apparently.
Yeah. I think we went through 2 bottles of Jaeger because of Brandon.
Yeah, that was like, I had 2 and I was like,
yeah, he handed me a cup and I handed it right back and I said, "No, I gotta drive, dude."
And he's sitting there shaking it up and it's all fizzing everywhere because he's put Monster in it. He's like, sometimes you gotta burp it a little bit. I'm like, yeah. And then we had a mop the floor the next day. Monster was everywhere.
Thank God it was in the concrete in the garage versus like my fucking carpet.
That would have sucked.
Yeah, if I lived closer, dude, I would have helped you guys like clean up and shit. I can only imagine it was probably hell afterwards, huh?
It actually wasn't that bad. Like we had trash cans strategically placed.
Yeah.
Another bonus. Have lots of fucking trash cans and like those yard waste bags because
like construction size bags.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have like 4 of them in the back of the truck, and that was just from that one night. I was like, damn, there's a lot of trash.
Our trash people are gonna hate us, but yeah.
Yeah.
So they were all really respectful, though. I think
just
having good people show up, not because like we didn't post our address, out publicly. We had people message us, "Hey, if you're wanting to come, shoot me a message so I know who you are." Not just random people showing up. Then we had some people that messaged us and were like, "Hey, what kind of carpet pythons are you guys selling at this expo?" I'm like, "It's not an expo. You're wrong idea of what's going on at this event." So I kind of told them, "Hey, it's a barbecue and things like that." And then some people message, "Hey, can we bring our stuff?" No, you can't. Not
Please
that kind of event.
Yeah.
Please don't. Yeah, I'll tell you to go home, and I don't want to have to do that. So because a big thing, something like this is you're inviting people around your collections. You don't want to have somebody bring mites to it. So not everybody got
even something worse than that. Mites are the least of my worries at this point. Mites I can handle, but like crypto and Nido and stuff, that's a whole other story.
But you don't know.
So a few people got to hold stuff. People that we trust, like Randy, obviously. Things like that. So
but ideally we'd have like a foot wash, but
that
set up in time.
Burn your clothes before you come in here.
Bring a set of clothes.
I think for like experienced keepers, they know when they're going to someone else's collection, like they take a shower first. It's just like proper etiquette. So I mean, I'm going out somewhere anyway, so I shower first, and I don't go into my collection before I go to yours.
Yes,
people need to start thinking like that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that's why we emphasize a lot about like quarantining and like just good practices, not only with other people's animals but your own. Like practice makes perfect kind of thing. And I think a lot of people just they're pets. They're not necessarily in the breeder side, and they don't understand that. So that's why we try to educate a lot of people on the importance of it because they just don't know. It's like, oh, I have a corn snake at home. What diseases could it possibly give your collection? It's like, well, list, but
that's like we do unboxing videos. We're pretty clear, like, hey, we are unboxing this in our quarantine room. We're not unboxing this in our snake room. I'm going to put it in a quarantine rack in our snake room.
Oh, that's like the
that
biggest
is not
pet peeve
happening.
I have ever.
But I know a lot of like the bigger breeders, they don't even quarantine. They just, hey, I don't have the space for it. Everything's in this area, so it's kind of. We definitely do, just because
that's the dice they want to roll.
I don't want to introduce anything into our collection because you put a lot of collection? No, I said ours.
Wow.
I'm not.
He was saying his ball pythons though.
But like because you put a lot of money in this hobby. If something happens,
absolutely.
All that like time, money, passion.
Well, think about how dumb you'd feel if you lost all the work that you've put into things because you were too lazy to separate something. I'd feel like a pretty big idiot.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because people experience that all the time. They get mice in like their entire collection because they brought home an animal directly from an expo or whatever, from somebody they trusted, like a friend. Whatever,
I've done that before. Yeah, years ago I've done that, and when you mess up, you're like, holy shit, this sucks. Then but it takes people telling you over and over again, and sometimes you still don't understand.
Yeah, we've gotten mice just from going to a show, and
Oh,
Just
really?
from-
Not even like picking an
Yeah.
animal up?
Not even getting an
Yeah.
animal at the show.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's to that point to where it's just like you need to, even if you don't pick up an animal, you need to have proper
Yeah.
quarantine for yourself. Like, hey, go home,
Yeah.
put your clothes in the washer, shower.
Yeah,
that
be
kind of
mindful.
thing.
Be mindful of the vendors that are there. If you know they're bringing in a lot of wild caught stuff, because that's where we got it from. Was from importer who was at one of the shows.
Yeah.
You know, and they had
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of variety, whatever. But like, just try like to be, cautious and know who's gonna be there. Know proper sanitization when you get home, whatever. This, that, and the other. And just be careful because I'd rather spend the extra time, and taking 45 showers than, trying to fucking, do treatments on mites on 100+ animals.
I'm not doing 45
Yeah.
showers, but yeah.
It's bad.
No.
But yeah, just be prepared for that and be precautious. And
Justin,
All right,
you gotta
Joel.
come back. You gotta come to the
Yeah.
next one though, Justin.
Be smart.
for real.
I know.
We'll take care of you if you come out of Carpet Fest.
I
next
Yeah, we
definitely want to.
gotta come.
We're gonna have to figure it out.
We'll bring out an air mattress for you or something.
It's a matter of the work schedule. That's been a pretty big pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You gotta change
lately,
that.
So I'm thinking about that. Maybe
Yeah.
that may be being fixed. So we'll
Good.
see. But
Yay. Okay. Hopefully
Good
for the
yeah,
good reasons.
we're
not
at
for
we're about
bad.
2.5 hours. It's
Oh, shit.
to be determined.
Time flew, man.
Um,
Time flew.
It always does when
We,
you're talking to good people. So
Phil wanted me
Yeah,
to make sure that I let everyone know that the newest episode of Venomous Etiquette Videos is now up on YouTube.
Awesome.
So
oh,
please check
good.
it
He's
out
doing
if you
that
haven't.
again. Good.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he finally dropped the
That's
second
amazing.
episode. I haven't watched it yet because he literally just put it out like an hour before we started.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, what the fuck?
So I'll have to
Good
watch
stuff.
that probably in the morning. But check that out. I put a link on the magazine website or magazine
Perfect.
page and the THN page. So if you're looking for it on Facebook, it is there to be found. This was brought to you by these people right here. Puget Sound
Loudly.
Pythons, episode 91. And we will see everyone later. THP is THP isn't gonna happen Thursday because I got some family wedding stuff happening. So I'm gonna see if Jake is gonna be down for Wednesday. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
just get on there and start talking. We'll listen.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It was nice talking to you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good evening, good morning, good day,
Bye.
whenever you're listening to this.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye.